Tonight, it's a trip to Daytona, as it's time to find out which drivers are going to go into the chase and which will be left out. Tonight, though, it's the Soda Wars 400, as everyone tries to battle and showcase what their favorite beverage is here in full-length Cup Challenge Series action here in Maconi. Welcome to tonight's coverage. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside the booth tonight's Kirk Mills. Howie Burrows is our producer for this evening's coverage as we get ready to go super speedway racing. They were going 4 wide in preparation for tonight, but most importantly, Kirk, they're about to try and see if they can go 8 wide out of those that have a chance, if not more, to fight for the final spots in this year's chase.
We're going to be able to see how desperate some folks are going to be. You can take a look at that cut line. It's very close. Tanner Marty, June Salim, Duggar Hunter out right now looking in. Neil Pearson right on the cusp. And then there's 3 drivers that are pretty comfortable, but anything can happen. Anderson, Miller, Truel, they're all there as well. And I can tell you right now, you know, the 16th, 15th, and 14th might not have a best shot at winning the actual championship, but they do have a great shot at being able to get into, a admirable position, maybe a top 10. You never know what the chase looks like at the end of the day.
Indeed, it's going to be really close for some drivers tonight, and the question will be which one will survive such a gauntlet that is this facility. Keep in mind, Sean Conklin absolutely decimated the field in terms of led laps once again last time out. It's been, if you're an RFK team member at least, been a strong season, but this is the great equalizer because that doesn't really matter as much here tonight, Kirk. What's more important is your ability to be smart, be strategic, and keep it out of the big ones.
Just trying to mark your right time to go. Stay out of the big crashes. Let's take a look at the starting lineup.
Paul Gallimore sets the pole tonight for BMP. Rich Kleinman will start down in second. 7/1000s off the pole, highest for the Stealth Machine all year. Jonathan Delaney in third spot. Ralph Hutchinson, his favorite beverages, Classic Coke. He'll start down in fourth tonight. Bobby Anderson is one of several Dr. Pepper machines, and then this car has a story. In fact, a few of them do. Switching to Toyotas, all running the Nicholas Roman, I would say, throwback. I would more so argue matchup in regards to schemes. Adam Benefiel is one of the first of those. RFK has Sean Conklin. Tyler Hunter is an 8th tonight in a purple EPI car. Then it's Thomas Komacheski who went with something called a birch beer in that position. The old-fashioned goodness machine will be alongside Casey Graves in 10th.
Diet Mountain Lightning for Casey Graves, but starting 11th will be the driver Michael Tucker, starting P11, P12. Coca-Cola 97 of Lucas Hoitzma. He's going to be hard to beat super speedways. He'll make his way to the front. Cameron Stone, Pib Extra. Love that stuff from Pals. Heck yeah. Then right next to him, you got Nicholas Isaacs there in the 2-car, 1 water. He's going to be starting off 14th. 15th, Nicholas Roman. You know, Vroom as we like to call him. Paint scheme's very popular. Got Paul Hill there on the outside in that 26 car, starting 16th. Got 17th place, Coca-Cola, Neil Pearson. Rolling off beside Alan Duggar in the 10 car tonight. Starting in 19th will be Stephen Williams, and alongside Tanner Marty in the 29.
Kevin Zolciak will start 21st tonight. Jose Medina is in 22nd in a Diet Dr. Pepper car. William Owens again in the green machine, McQuaw, alongside Andrew Dyson, who is again in a purple and Toyota car. Blake Giglio will be 25th tonight. Nolan Hodgson. That is a blank car with, I can't tell what drink that is, but it is a can of something. 26. 27th, Brian Wortman makes an appearance tonight. He was one of those towards the tail. You also have Devin Medeiros and Dave Hoitzma, who are part of those drivers in the order. The reason things are offset, we had one driver out of the session. That is Medeiros that's throwing things offset. They are still walking and talking through tonight's setup as they finish up the drivers' meeting for tonight. All you can say tonight when we go racing in a bit here is Daytona's going to bring a lot of thrills. And remember, this is similar to that of what we've seen at Talladega. Remember what we talked about, or rather with some of the races earlier in the season, Kirk, where NASCAR in real life made the short stages to start and then a long one to end. to try and change things up or try and mix things up a little bit that way. We're starting with a 35 lap stage 1, but a 95 lap stage 2.
I think that's going to be important to watch. We will have pit cycles before the end of stage 2, which is kind of nice if we can avoid the big one, which is going to happen. We will have a giant crash at some point in the 160 laps, and normally that really just shuffles up the field, and luck is a big help there when you got that big one looming over us here at Daytona. I just got to say, it's scary when you're in the car getting ready to line up for 200 laps. If you're right in dead center in the middle of the field, if you're like Paul Hill, Vroman, or Isaacs, you got the same number of cars in front of you as you do behind you. One little mistake from anyone in front of you, yeah, and it's just over. You hope for the best. You got to get the lucky hole that pop up out of nowhere. It's going to be a real chaotic race for sure.
Absolutely. Now, as they all prepare for this one, we'll keep an eye and see how things go. I believe Giglio may pop up as a 16. We'll keep an eye on how things go here tonight. He is the 8 car here tonight. Kleinman has an EOL, though. It will have to start at the tail for this evening's coverage, and we'll have to work from the back to the front. So as they all prepare this race here, your keys to victory, Kirk.
Stay out of the big one. Stay out of the big one. And also, you got to be with somebody who's a great pusher. Last night, we saw what happened. Matthew Blackley in the Friday Night Lights series won his first ever start in that series last night with help from last year's champion. It was Lucas Hoytsma, one of the best pushers out there. He's also fantastic at leading lines at Daytona, Talladega, Echo Park. He's someone who's going to be difficult to beat, and he's going to be somebody who you want to be friends with for the majority of this race, all the way up until turn 4. Then it's every man for himself. But you need to find a partner. You cannot do this alone. Some friends would be good. For example, Dyson, Benefiel, and Vroman all kind of are easily picked out of the field. They all have the same paint scheme, and they all will work together very well.
Did get confirmation Kleinman did ask to start at the back, which is an interesting call after putting up a qualifying time tonight. But they will look to try and claw their way to the field in just a few moments. Outside of that, Madero's still out of session, and every other driver is getting ready to close out the regular season, Kirk, in Boogity style.
Absolutely, man. We had one hell of a regular season. So many storylines. And the biggest thing is now we kind of got ourselves a crapshoot. A lot of great drivers. Everybody has a good shot to win. It's Daytona. Anybody can win. Out of turn number 4, that pace car is going to go ahead and dive it down into the pit road here. Hard left turn. Reach down. Pull them belts tight one more time from the world center of racing, Daytona, through that restart zone. Biggity, biggity, biggity. Let's go racing, boys.
See how things go to the back straightaway for the first time today. Conkle into the middle immediately. And it looks like Cole Macheski will join in. We were talking about this before, going 4 wide in practice tonight to see if that would work. They're already going 3 wide, and we're not even done the first lap.
Exactly what you like to see at super speedways. You get that pack racing started, and it is fun to drive. You got to get from the back to the front. And the best way to do it is find a hole and get in it. Good luck. Try to push your way forward. And the 17's doing that already.
Indeed, you see some of the shuffles with Conklin looking to lead a line, but not too much help from behind. Side draft going to be critical again to think about here tonight as they pull on back. All of this as well, the BMP entry, Gallimore leads things off. And we know Paul in a variety of different series, pretty stout. His team is on super speedways. Looking to be the Pied Piper on the inside while a majority of the field goes backwards side by side.
Outside lines are not working at all right now. No momentum. I'm not seeing anything going forward. But people still want to get up there because it's the only way you can really pass right now. That long single file line in the front just seems to be comfortable. Cameron Stone being the last one of the single files. They're side by side behind Stone. You can see it there, Tanner Marty on the bottom. Hoytsma now leads the top, and that's dangerous once you get Hoytsma on the top. He's going to get his way to the front in no time. Look at that push he's getting. And up the block is Tucker, I believe.
Hearing Casey Graves wants to bail out. He just said on the radio. So it looks like the 0-1 is saying, I don't want to be anywhere near this. Conklin's saying, I want to be absolutely near all this. He just went 3 wide again. But again, Tucker, who's had flashes of speed this season, getting some assistance. Lucas Hoytsma will look to try and carry the momentum to a side-by-side for the race lead. You see your cars and what color they are in your pylon tonight.
You know, one thing I got to mention here is at Daytona, you want to make friends. And right now, that 36 got a pretty good one right on his tail. That's Hoytsma, best pusher, one of the best pushers in the entire series. Already pushed the car all the way to the front and almost wrecked him. Gallimore below the double yellow.
You see that right now? Gallimore actually wanted to go down there. He was talking on the radio, Kirk. He didn't want to cause any trouble, so he dropped to the back. He nearly spun it. But now, it's Hoytsma in control with the help of one of Roman's Army cars, if you will. Benefiel also working with. 3 of the 4 Conti drivers went with the same scheme tonight. They wanted to call it 3 in the pink, 1 in the pib is the way they phrased it. The Cameron Stone machine is the 1 pib car, and now 2 of those 3 pink machines are up front.
You know, I tell you what, early in the season, I've always said this about Roman's paint. I always said it was one of the more ugly paint schemes out there, and I think folks would agree. The only difference is it's a great tool to distract other drivers, and now there's 3 of them out there. I just say that they stand out like a sore thumb right now.
Would you believe that's also another reason they said, or specifically Nicholas Roman said to why we're doing this tonight, or they were doing this more specifically in terms of the Conti camp? So Benefiel has the chance to lead up at the front. And now, all this is well. Giglio has gone up 22 spots in 5 laps complete.
He's a pro. That's what you expect out of him. He's moved up the most. Nolan Hodgson's a great driver. Dyson's a great driver. Everybody on that list is fantastic. It just shows the tremendous amount of talent it takes to get here. But look at this, 3 wide for second up the block. Going up the block to 17 of Conklin. Conklin's now the second car in line on the top side, and it's only a matter of time. Once you get somebody like that up in the front, it's going to be hard to get it back.
At the very least, the KCP line machines are going to go down there, and that's an interesting thing to think about here tonight. Is I'm almost wondering what Blake's conversation is team-wise here tonight. No, with KCP. As we mentioned, they were trying to get him more and more exposure, get more opportunities in the car, getting the chance to at least hook up with a regular in the series in Hoytsma, who is, again, one of his aligned outside the series with some of the stuff from the Road to Pro campaign. It's a very good pairing, at least, you would have to think, to try and work together, or at the very least, have a loose working air contact in the sim if you want to do it that way, as they'll work behind the 17.
Just like that, 17 made a move to the bottom, and he just dumped Benefiel off. New leader, Sean Conklin, up front. And remember, it just shows how fast you can change things. You can be trying to make 3 wide moves on the first lap all the way up to the lead, and now he's blocking the 97, who finally gets to the inside, and now Hoytsma takes over the lead.
Here we go. Hoytsma goes to the front. Conklin trying to work themselves forward. A lot of conversation there about that type of move. A couple drivers thought that looked weird there in that sequence in the sim. But right now, they are trying to figure out if they can get any line to work. And right now, it's pretty clear. Hoytsma wants to command and wants Giglio to command with them. They want to cause a logjam in the lines, and Conklin nearly bonked them through.
Giglio on the bottom, Hoytsma on the top, leading both the lines down. Hoytsma goes to block Giglio, and now Conklin goes to the outside with help from behind. I believe that is Benefiel trying to give him a shot. And just to give you all a quick heads up, towards the back of the field, 2 cars has lost the draft. Jose Medina and Brian Wertman, both cars have lost the draft.
Well, that's very unfortunate for them early on in this one. Already 7 seconds back. Benefiel peeled Conklin off the wall. No love between him and the RFK machine. Hoytsma goes to the middle as well. Lucas Hoitzma goes up to the top, but Benefield's making it clear he does not want to work with the 17, to say the very least.
I can tell you right now, you got to have friends. And right now, I don't think there's too many up front right now for that 17 car.
Let's stay away from that elephant in the room. But right now, these drivers work themselves up at the front of the field with the help of Nolan Hodgson, trying to make sure to see what's on the side of that machine. And the answer is, if you scroll very, very tightly onto the side of that 12 machine, it is a Happy Can. I don't know if I've heard of the Happy Can before.
Not a clue. Yeah, not a part of my drink repertoire, but I'm sure I'll give it a go if it's real. Oh my goodness, look at this huge run on the outside for the 62, Neil Pearson. He's making it 3 wide on the top, and he's able to make it work almost for a second, but a huge shove from the 36 of Tucker to the back bumper of the 17 is going to bring that middle lane right back as the top 4 still single file.
Yes, indeed. As they work their way to the middle, I think it's pretty clear with what we're seeing here. It's 35 laps for the first stage again. You can make it on fuel in the stage. That's not the concern for anybody right now. It's more so the matter of, do you want to risk being up front, or do you want to risk going in the back? Here's the thing with Tyler Hunter. He's going to be one of those we have to keep an eye on, because all you can say in that end is he runs in a better spot compared to Pearson all run. This could be huge for him, especially for stage points, with him being the closest to that cut line. When they were still in the teens, Hunter it was a tie with a 5-place difference. Right now, obviously, Hunter would be in.
It's just so close, and it's going to be hard to monitor. At the stages, we'll make a quick check on all of them to make sure it's 100%. As of the moment we run with the cautions, they'll be able to hold their positions for longer. But my goodness, look at that Tucker machine going down to the bottom. He just made a move to try to get by second place, but blocked off there from Conklin. Conklin now able to hang on to the lead as a 36. Tried something, wasn't able to get it done. And now Tanner Marty, look at that 29 car on the top side, 3rd car in lane on the outside, up towards the front. Good day for him.
Tanner Marty, one of the LRP machines, precision back power plant in that machine. Just willing to let the car breathe, not win the triple car tandem, which is the expectation up there. Look at that. Hearing there is a problem. Giglio, who we will work on that number, by the way, under the first caution, has a punched in nose. Remember, a few builds ago, they made the nose more sensitive to the bumps. If you slam that nose too hard in, you slam it in like a sledgehammer, and that's the case for Giglio right now, who will probably need damage dropped to the back.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now here, there, Justin, and I can tell you that punch to the nose showed up down the back straightaway whenever he was pushing Conklin. Conklin had gotten off the gas back on lap 10, and the 8 car just hit him naturally like a normal bump would look, and unfortunately, it just dented in the hood.
Yeah, that can happen a lot tonight, actually, I think, if you aren't too careful, especially with mismatching manufacturer, I've noticed more than anything.
Oh boy! This is 101, leading a field practice right here. He is a guy who does not want to give up. He has Austin Hill vibes right now.
Did we mention it's lap 14, Kirk?
Oh, yeah. No, not yet. Now, oh, he almost wrecked. He did wreck himself. Oh, my goodness.
Conklin straight down into the grass. No caution. Nearly comes back up and holds it down. That collects Adam Benefiel. Oh, boy. Well, that is going to be a tough spot, Kirk, after that one between those two groups. Let's put it that way.
Oh, boy. All right. Yeah, I think looking at it, 17's lost the drafts. However, for Benefiel's hung on to the draft, I believe. Yes, he is still in the lead pack. So, net gain there for Benefiel. Unfortunate for the 17. Just was not clear, trying to block a line.
Yeah, you can see Hoytsma trying to hold on right now as Hodgson tries to build the momentum back up. He is an independent, as we talked about, for probably the foreseeable future. A couple weeks now on his own, and that's going to put him in a tough spot because he won't have people to work with as much. And now, right now, you can see he's got some friends in the Conti camp that are willing to work with him. And I think they said they're blowing up. They have to move down. And only Nicholas Vroman moved down, and Hodgson moved down anyway.
Oh my goodness. You do not want to blow a motor in front of a big pack like that. If you do, oh boy. Also, Conklin out of the car. Conklin is out of the race car, sitting on pit road. He might be done for the day.
Right now, Hodgson's asking on the radio, do you have it cooled? Well, they separated, so I think it's somewhat cooled. To rebundle it again. And look to reset as most of the bottom line is going. We're about halfway to the stage, by the way. As see some of the yard drivers in the conversation to try and build up points, looking to make their way above or stay above the cut line. Pearson's back there trying to make up some ground. Tanner Marti, we already talked about, is one of those on the shuffle through a part of this. By the way, bad news if you are a David Hoytsma or a Paul Gallimore fan. Remember, Gallimore elected to go to the back and stay out of the pack here, Kirk. He's lost the draft with the 79.
Oh, no. I hate to hear that. We're really, here at Maconi Setup Shop, Maconi Entertainment, we kind of root for our good man, Dave Hoytsma. Hopefully he'll be able to stay on the lead lap before the end of the stage, but it'll be a tall ask, especially with 18 laps already in the books, trying to get to lap 35.
The Hunter moves up as they'll try and get things working in the EPI camp. There's the look up the racetrack for Tucker. A little bit of a bobble there as a lot of screams of lookouts on the radio with some of these calls here. You're talking pixel close.
Inches. That's really what it is. I mean, they're hitting each other, bumping each other in the corners. That's expected. But one thing I do want to mention here is just that to those of you that were wondering about that 17, there is nothing that he can gain from this race at all. He's already clinched the regular season championship. There is nothing in terms of a championship other than a race win he's going for today. So I'd be surprised if he goes back out there after being multiple laps down. New leader, though, as you can see on the outside, that purple car, Tyler Hunter, EPI, love seeing it. Look at him go.
In that move, and Conklin did apologize. You did mention he'd pull it down. He's done for the night. He is your first DNF with one DNS also on the order. So with that in mind, we'll keep racing with what is 22 in the main pack. Coming up to 15 to go on the stage as we load back in the tower. Looking for the power is Tucker. So that neck and neck battling for the time being. And one of the other things to keep an eye on too is there's the thought, too, maybe you can argue of, there's an error thing, too. Forget sometimes, especially with everything going on. This is the second to last race for King of the Super Speedway. Remember, that championship is still a thing. That's the other thing you're technically racing for, which has money line. Guess who leads that? The 95 of Vroom Vroom, Nicholas Vroman, by 23 points over Basin, who is not here. In our words, if the 95 tries well tonight, he could secure that championship tonight, possibly.
Absolutely. Just got to get up front, though. Not quite there right now. He's still sitting second car on the outside, but now third car. Look at that 19 go up to the top side. Not going to work this time. Absolutely not. Inside line, big momentum.
So, again, we're closing in towards the end of the stage, and as things have gone to a calm before the storm field that we normally see at the finish, but at the front, did see a couple of those different bits of contact. Remember, that came into play, that really shuffled things. Remember, amongst those was Benfield and Conklin we talked about earlier on. We've seen already Some of the others that have lost the pack as a result of how things have gone. Medina's lost now the pack. And as they go, some of the others are getting really dicey. Here's a look at Nicholas Isaacs. He is here tonight for the first time in a little bit. And looking to have a solid drive. He's up on the high side, working with the Jonathan Delaney entry up at the top. They've worked together a bit in the year.
Yeah, they have worked together for sure quite often. And, you know, the big news here with that is just, you know, normally that 6-car Delaney, let's see if he's still out there. Where is he at on that racetrack? I don't quite see him right now. There he is, back here, 19th. He's at the tail of the field. But remember, later in the night, that's when he shows up. He shows up once it gets dark. So you're going to see that 6-car go from the back to the front. He's got a good folk right there behind him working together. Who knows what's going to happen? They're already trying that third lane. This is my favorite type of thing to do when you're in the back of the field like this. It's not going to hurt. You could just back off after your run dies and just keep trying and reloading and firing up to the outside line, seeing if anybody goes up with you.
Dude, see that 3 wide really starting to get confidence yet again ongoing. Benefield is one of those. Trying to do something. Ralph Hutchinson said he's hurt, so there's an issue for the 19. His nose is crushed in, that's why. He also pushed too hard 2 times over, and he said, I'm going to drop to the back here with my damage.
Hutchinson getting a shot from Delaney. Delaney helping him try and stay in the lead draft. Otherwise, they would have most certainly lost the draft. Working together, being friendly, but they still might lose the draft. How bad is that damage on the nose? It does not look pretty.
Yeah, I think he's got enough to keep up with the draft if someone's behind him. Hutchinson, though, might have motor damage with the way he's driving, or almost heavy aero damage enough to be like a brick. Even worse than a brick. A brick that is... I can't think of a brick that's outside of a jagged brick. That might be worse than a normal brick. That being said, we'll say they're getting aggressive again up here. How about back and forth? Tower Hunter.
Trying to just maintain position. You're going to fight for it all night. Might as well get started now. 6 cars alone still on the top, man. I just love that he keeps trying. Never give up. Never give up. And who knows what's going to happen tonight, but it has really devolved to 2 wide. You can see Tucker leading this thing. Really good run for Michael Tucker tonight in that 36 machine. I have a feeling about that team tonight. Somebody over there in what do they call themselves? Stealth Racing. I have good feelings about that team tonight. We'll see how it goes. He's definitely pushing really well, and he's got help from Nolan Hodgson right on the 6. But Nolan's got to be real careful with pushes.
Under 10 laps to go. As you can see, 3 cars up at the top are making things work, and oh boy, there are 2 of them working together in the same group with William Owens up there. But again, momentum's dying off. All of this as well. Vroom Vroom wants help. Here comes Tanner Marti. Look at that. The 29 is building momentum and has an opportunity to try and help out some drivers here with this speed. But the problem is, Pearson's black flag machine is right behind him and having technical blips. That's the worst time for the Aussie to do that.
Absolutely do not want to have that happen, but definitely when you're doing it across the pond, yeah, it's a lot more difficult. Keep a good internet connection.
I think he's lost it, actually. And oh boy, that is huge, actually. He was one of those in with some of the projections. Remember early in this race, Kirk? That might cost him a chance to race in the chase.
Oh no. Oh my goodness. You are kidding me. Neil Pearson, gone. He's gonna need a miracle here. He's got to reconnect quickly. I feel bad for him, I do. He's had a really rough year, though. At the beginning of the year, it seemed to get involved in a lot of different accidents. It's so unfortunate.
See just how they are all freight trading Hoytsma with the momentum shifts here. Once again, battling back and forth, back and forth. Again, Saturday night action in the FLCC here tonight. We're down to a second car out of the race in Pearson. That joins in the DNF list here tonight. You can see right now the defensive maneuver still keeping up. It's been come up to 6 to go this upcoming time by. You know who some of the others are joining in with all this feistiness here, Kirk? Thomas Komacheski, who decided not to go with the trend of soda here tonight on the paint scheme. But hey, it's fast tonight. He's top 10. Same camp as the Paul Gelmore entry from Beast Mode.
You know, you're absolutely right. Showing a lot of speed early. It's just not something that you would expect on regular racetracks. But here at Daytona, Talladega, Echo Park, anybody can lead this race. Hodgson's doing it right now. He's someone who can absolutely do it anywhere. He's right now trying to defend 3 lanes. Look at that. Giglio up to the top and completely shuffled out of the top area. He's going to drop all the way to the back. No help.
You need friends. We talked about that earlier. You don't have friends, it's a very hard race to win.
It's a hard pack to stay with. This draft, the 8 might lose the lead pack here.
Yeah, we're splintering cars here a little bit. We saw 21 in it. It doesn't look like it. But remember, that lap traffic up there is going to be urgently trying to blend in the pack. Medina, Williams, Wortman are about to get swallowed by a 2 and 3 wide Hornet's Nest.
What is this? It evolved from 2 wide constant to 3 wide so fast. Look at the outside line. Is that Hoytsma leading it? Oh, no doubt. He's got a great pusher right there trying to push him forward. Up the block. Look at that. Tucker knows how to lead a line, but here comes Hoytsma to the middle. No help.
You can see just how difficult it's getting for Tucker now, having Delaney join in. Lap cars are 10 car lengths up the road. And those 3, when they get there, are going to have to think, because I don't think any of these leaders are backing off here. They're running 196 in the corners to the pack in front 187. Wortman just pit to get out of the way.
That's dangerous right here. You're fighting for your life because these guys are trying to stay on the lead lap. They cannot afford to go more than 1 lap down because you're going to have to take a wave around. Your race is over. These guys, they have every right to stay on the racetrack and try and stay above this leader. But one of them decided to go down, but everything can change. Tyler Hunter and Paul Hill now the top 2. How fast things change.
And it looks like the drivers who are laps down will now go to the apron, so stay out of the way. Bad news, I believe, for Wortman. He sped getting out of the way of those leaders, by the way. So that's going to destroy his race even more so. All that's well, EPI in front. Paul Hill, who's had a quiet much of the season, in second. Hutchinson, by the way, with the punched-in nose, has driven through to the field.
I mean, just tremendous position volatility. You can go from the front to the back so fast. Giglio lost the draft. I mean, that just shows kind of how crazy you could really have a run go great. He was up in the front of the lead pack, and then he gets dropped off, and now he's 12 seconds behind the leader.
Let's see the blend down for the Chastity Tucker machine. William Owens will blend up. William Owens, one of those who's been somewhat regular in the season. 22 starts, looking to now join in to get to the front, but we're coming up to 2 to go with those front racers. Owens falls to the pack with the top 4 single file out.
Now it's just a matter of when do you make your move. I think if you're like the 97, you're pushing hard now. You got to go. You got to go. Tucker's pushing the 30 car hard in the center of the corner. I think Tucker's one of the better pushes I've seen out there in terms of intensity. Maybe not in terms of comfort, but definitely intensity. The rest of these guys, going to need to figure out what they need to do. Top 4, Komacheski, Hodgson, Hill, and Hunter. They want to go for the stage win. They absolutely can. They just have to wait for the right moment to strike. 30 cars coming.
Yep, looking to hunt down and try and find a way to go. You see Hodgson amongst those digging on the outside. Now here comes Hunter trying to hold back on the last lap of the stage.
Oh, contact, near wreck back here between the pink cars. Looks like that they were able to keep it straight side by side for the lead up towards the front, though. Down and back straight away for the final time in stage 1. Hunter on the bottom, and Hodgson takes over the top spot.
Here we go. Drivers being told to stay on the apron like Wortman for the lap traffic. Going to be a problem in the middle of the corner. Wortman's got to get down because Hodgson's closing in on him. Wortman dives left. Near contact. There was some for the lead. Tucker to try and win a stage. He'll take the green-white checkered.
Wow.
It was close, but it is Tucker by 13 one-thousandths over Hodgson, Tucker, Owens, Komachevsky, Hill, Kleinman, Hutchinson, Zosiak, and Tanner Marti picks up a point to close out the first stage.
Man, what a run. What a run. That was awesome. Really fun race right there so far, folks.
Let's take a look at some of the incidents from earlier on that set the tone for the stage. We stayed green the whole way, but it almost didn't stay green.
Very close to having wrecks there multiple times. A lot of cars lost the draft. You're looking at some replays here. This is what happened to the 17 that took him out of the race today. You're going to see him go up and block that pink car who's going to get a big run here. There's a big push on the bottom lane. Paul Hill gives him a big shot. Down, up here, goes up to the top, and he just bad block. Real rough. Puts the car up in the wall. Yeah, and he's already taken responsibility for it, so, I mean, he knows it was a rough one. But, again, this doesn't matter. None of this matters to right now because he was only going for the win. Otherwise, nothing else really benefits him going into the chase because he's already locked in as the first seed.
Yeah, if we're thinking about it with that, technically speaking, he's already on the opportunity if he was to break through again, Conklin, for a 4th all-time in wins in the first couple years in the FLCC. People forget that Andrew Dyson is that winningest driver at the moment in the past 2 years with 15 to his credit. Benefield with 12. You'll surprise Tixon Baugh in 11th. That's including those on Friday nights as well. But kind of shows the parity when you already have a win list in 2 series, combined already 30 near drivers. Pit stop time for everybody else, though. As this, we'll see everybody at least get fuel, should be able to fill up on gas. It's going to be the matter of how much track position you want for the tires.
Tires aren't going to matter that much, I don't think. I think folks are just going to try and fill up for gas to make it as far as they can. You got to get a full tank here. You do not want a short pit here. So full tank of gas, they're going to have to wait in their box after the tires and wait for the fuel to drop, and then you go.
Off and away they go. Nolan Hodgson won the race off pit road. I think everyone went with the 4-tire stop. Maximize grip because big thing is, remember, we're going to have a 60-lap, including these pace laps here, stage coming up here from Daytona. That's a long way to go. That's including potential possibility of a green flag pit stop coming up. Overall, your thoughts here as we get ready to start off stage number 2 here.
The number one surprise to me is just how fast you can go from the back to the front. Last night, this is the first time I could say this all year, I felt like the O'Reilly cars that we had in the sim were worse than what I see in the next gens so far. Next gens, you can go from the back to the front. The only problem with the next gen I'm seeing is that you could really, really lose the draft so fast. Giglio's a great example here in that 8 machine. He went from the front to losing the draft like that. It is so fast how fast that could happen. So because of this, the only thing that you could really think about is just, you cannot, it's not worth getting put to the 3rd lane outside by yourself and getting dropped out. It's better to drive hard and try to block. You cannot afford to lose the draft, especially whenever it's this long of a stage for stage 2.
Indeed. So, as Wortman will try and get the wave around, as we get ready for the restart, we'll get some quick words here on this 1 to go mark, if we can, with Michael Tucker. He didn't come out as the one up front, but was a part of that race to win said stage. Michael Tucker with this broadcast booth out. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
First things first, type race for the stage there. Talk us through that stage 1 and your approach tonight.
My approach is to just keep her up front. That's what I'm trying to aim for. I haven't done it, but I'm trying. No, that was close. I didn't think I got it coming to the line because of how big of a run he got. But I came out and it told me to pass him, so I was like, okay. So it was just I had to find an opportunity to pass him. I did it. Came off of 4, saw the lap car, and I was like, okay. Just had to hope for the push, and I didn't have the push, but I was so far ahead when we got to the line. The run really barely mattered.
So on that note here, approach for stage 2. Keep it up front again?
This is a bit of a longer stage, I think. So I may try to save some fuel. I haven't thought about that yet. Just, I'll think about the strategy as I go, honestly, because that's all I can do.
I have more questions, but we have a restart. That's more important. Let's get you to it.
Thank you.
We'll get all set to go for the restart. Tucker starting second for it. And side chosen by Hodgson for the restart. William Owens jumped up in the order to third. Tyler Hunter to fourth. Delaney Hill. Lucas Hoitzma, Duggar, Brum Brum, Dyson in your top 10. Looks like we're just about all set to go as... Oh, well. We are still attempting. That is not the 8 car. Yes, it's got an 8 on it. Before I get a message, yes, we are working on that. So he'll make his second livery change of the night later. We're back underway here.
Outside line just dissolved. Not a big run at all from the outside.
Good momentum to start things off at the bottom. Top just didn't go here, Kirk.
Nope,
And
not at all.
so how do you get that momentum rolling on the top? Oh, that was a little bit contact there with Vroom Vroom. The 95 didn't like that.
Yeah, side draft. That's what you got to do. You got to side draft. You got to get close to it. Now, Roman decides, you know what? Screw it. I'll lead the way. Follow me. So he's going up there as the bottom line checks up into the corner once they finally hit top speed. It's going to be a benefit for a second here, but he has no help right now. He's got to wait for Tyler to get to the back bumper. And does William Owens go up? He's thinking about it, changes his mind, go right back down to the bottom P3.
You can see just how this is going right now. Alan Duggar also joining into the front for the first time here tonight on a different look machine. That 10 looking to stay a bit out of trouble tonight. All of this as well. Tucker's plan of lead the laps is now back away. Look at that push there from Nicholas Roman, though. Vroom Vroom Roman doing Vroom Vroom things. With the way things are going, see the down move by Hunter. First one at the very top of the racetrack back there. You've seen 3 wide. Casey Graves is trying to work 3 wide, but it's not working for the rookie.
Not at all, but right here, look at that move from Roman, trying to get the lead. He went up to the outside of Tucker, able to get some help from the 6 car Delaney, who was at the back of the field, but now he's up at the front.
You can see a little bit of that shuffle as they make their way through. And I think we'll see a lot more drivers thinking about fuel conservation this run, Kirk, rather than just attack like we've seen in stage 1. That's why we're not seeing as bulleted plays, I think, immediately to start to try and block these lines off.
But it's also very important to remember, you cannot lose the draft right now. You got to stay with it. There's some cars right on the tail end of it. They cannot afford to lose this draft early on. They got to stay up. So you can't save that much unless you got a lot of cars behind you on the bottom. If you're like somebody like Isaacs or Stone, where you have a bunch of cars behind you and plenty of cars around you, you are going to be in a position where you could save quite a bit. But if you're at the tail end of the line, you can't really save much because you got to spend all that effort to stay up towards the front.
Got to put in the effort, and it requires a full focus attitude. It's not like the days where if you just, turn on your music, zoned out for entirely 30, 40 laps, and then all of a sudden teleported to pit road. you end up finishing up with a good finish. You have to put in the effort, especially with this car constantly, just to remain in position. You go less than, I'd say even 80%, maybe 70%. You risk losing everything for this course of the race here tonight. I'm just saying that out of experience, not just out of the top of the dome, by the way.
Yeah, it's out of experience for me too, man. It sucks. When you're at the tail, like for example, if you're Wertman, if you're the 40 car of Jose Medina, Tanner Marty right now, you are just hoping to goodness that the front pack doesn't all of a sudden get a huge surge because you were on the cusp of losing the draft. And 74 big time needs some help to get back up to the back bumper of these guys.
Yeah, you can see the effort right now being put in, but I think Duggar kind of has realized he's got to try something different, just moved up to the top of the racetrack. The stealth entries tonight, though, despite the fact that outside of Tucker have been trying to play conservative, I think have speed here tonight. Because Soziak's doing pretty solid. Rich Kleinman's been able to stay in this pack just about the entire time, hasn't lost the draft yet. The stealth cars in this conversation have a good base to their setup tonight. You see that lean, they're a big part of that 4-car bump trap that just happened to the back.
They may have that little bit of a grouping together, but it's slowly dissolving too. That 12 car of Nolan Hodgson getting a push from one of the best pushers in the business. It is Lucas Hoitzma, able to get him up further and further. And look at that, Zodiac too, from Stealth, also having a pretty decent day. 4th car now on the outside line as Delaney goes up the block. The 12 and now lead the outside line side by side for the lead with Roman.
They'll keep the fight up here as real quickly, especially since some of those drivers in the conversation for the final chase spots are here and are in the midst of overheating because Tucker just asked for them to back off so he can cool down. Keep in mind, Hunter is now up a few spots where he's away from the cut line because of the stage already. And remember, Bobby Anderson did score stage points. Hunter Truell's not here. You have no Robert Miller tonight. There is a small chance, depending on if Duggar gets max points, especially in the stage, that Duggar outpoints the 15 and knocks him out of the chase for what will be a second year of postseason racing. Different circumstance to last year, Kirk.
You're right. The thing is, it could absolutely happen. It just, we won't be able to know until the end or how these stages will line up. Once the stages line, we'll be able to know here a lot more on lap 95 once we figure out what their final stages tallies are, what positions they have to finish in to end up making it versus not making it. Look at Delaney trying to block, not enough. Kevin Zodiac's going to go to the lead at Daytona. Side by side for it at the least. And my goodness, he led that lap by 1/1000th of a second.
The ladybug on the back, I still don't have an answer on what that is on the front other than a nail and maybe a spider. But he's making the web of having speed tonight really become prominent. Zodiac leads at Daytona, but there's still plenty to go in the stage. A lot of conversation about trying to let these cars breathe right now by everybody right at the moment. I think we're having overheating issues, Kirk, because these drivers are nearly popping their motors, especially with it being like this track tonight at Daytona, with a 79-degree air temp.
We cannot stress how often it is drivers forget to look down at their blinking red lights telling them that, hey, this engine is on fire, help, give me some air. But this time, 37 pushing the 6. He's in a position where he just had the lead, had clean air. His engine cooled down, so he can push that 6 pretty hard right now. However long that lasts is very slim, but man, it's just a constant thing. It's not just going out there and turning left. You got to pick what line to run in, who to push, make sure your engine doesn't blow up. There's so many things that you need so much concentration to make this work. And these guys have to do it for 160 laps if they want to win the race.
They've all really trying to work themselves through here as they go about. But there's the push for the 97. It's time for Hoyts to go on through. I don't think that nickname's going to stick, but regardless, that 97 yet again has had a solid bit of speed. Again, with their backing the esports side. Hoytsma, last year's one of the top super speedway racers and last year's champion, of course, in the series, has a crushed-in front nose now.
Not going to help him. He does not need that. The thing is that I think Hoytsma and I think Tucker are the two drivers you want to have pushing you at the end of this race, or Delaney. I'll throw his name in there. Those three drivers so far in the beginning part of this race have shown me that they have the ability to push a driver better than any other car out there, and I think those are going to be the ones to keep in mind towards the end if they're there. But remember, a lot of these guys are trying to be cautious too, save some gas, so pushing is not top priority for everybody.
Exactly. And remember, you can compare some things to last year with the Canada Super Speedway Championship. Jonathan Delaney, remember, was the top driver by 15 points over Matt DiCianni, who we've seen basically fall back on his starts this season. Delaney's looking to try and get the lead for just the second time today. Look to try and become the Pied Piper. The only constants up in the top 5 from last year to this year are Delaney, Vroom, as well as Hoytsma. Remember, Vroman was 10th in last year's running, despite being a part of just 4 of those races, was the highest of those who missed the start out of the super speedways, the majority of those efforts, should say. All that's to say, Nolan Hodgson, again, shuffles to the front. So keep in mind, the estimate for gas is 25 laps here. Do you split it up the middle, Kirk? Do you try and go long? What's kind of your preference for a race like this, especially knowing the speed of this pack is remaining in the 45/8?
Well, I'd say there are two choices. You can stay out as long as you humanly can and, hope that everybody else does the same, or pit with everybody else. In my opinion, I say once you see everybody move, you go. Does not matter. You cannot pit alone and end up good here. You can really get screwed up without any help, so you got to pit with others. You got to keep an eye on everyone else. If you're the leader, you're just in an eyeball and hope people follow you. Because if they don't, you get in really bad position. Look at Rich. Oh, big wreck on the back straightaway. One car sliding. It's the 40 car Jose Medina on the inside.
Medina sliding. Kleiman said they had some packet loss, so a technical issue. So there's some technical stuff that's coming to play, but it's no caution.
It's amazing they didn't hit anything.
Yeah, and as they said, Kleiman said on the radio, the fun was good while it lasted. I think Kleiman could have still kept going from a spin, but he just towed it.
He probably can't see the other cars around him. That's probably what he means by packet loss. So sometimes that can happen where he seems like he's there, but he's absolutely gone, and he just can't see the cars.
Yep, and now that's seen us still work our way around the track. Coming to lap 55. Almost towards 100 to go. That in mind, as 22 cars are remaining in this pack, Dave Hoytsman with all that also lost the pack, by the way. Neil Pearson, that's going to be a car to keep an eye on with their technical blips, because the 62 did return from the technical issue, but this is the big one. Needs a caution or 2. He's 2 laps down. He needs at least 2.
He's going to need a little bit of help, and it's hard to get that here unless it's right at the end of the race and you can get it all at once. Sometimes I've had that happen where you could be coming to the white flag 2 laps down. Let's say coming to 5 laps to go with 2 laps down, and a caution comes out, and then you get another caution immediately after, and guess what? You're back on the lead lap. Sometimes it can happen that way, but it's just how it works. Look at this. My goodness, a couple cars going to the top. That's Tyler Hunter and Paul Hill going back up to the top, trying to make the outside line work. Really big shuffle at the front right now. Everybody's shuffling around.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the constant in this, right? In a lot of cases where it's not going to be like Echo Park, for example, where it's a brick wall of race cars. As in, it's hard to find a way to go and sort yourself out and make a pass, especially with how tight that track is. You have a third line. You could technically make a fourth if you want to be a daredevil, but there's opportunities to do something. It's down to the driver's choices, though, and if they actually follow through with this said choice.
Open to them on what they choose to do in this race. And the thing is that there's just so many opportunities for them to make mistakes. There's so many opportunities. There's one bad line move, one quick block that shouldn't have happened, one hole that you're trying to fill that was not quite there. Anything could happen to get them up and out of the way. Outside line has died off. Front line is really about 8 cars or so that are single file all the way back to Neil Pearson. And, whenever this happens, the biggest part about driving like this is that if you're on the outside, you just try to stay resilient. Try to get as straight together as possible, working together. But you can't also blow the motor up. Right now, the 97's been peeking his nose out ever since they started falling back. And I think that 97 might be close to blowing a motor. He's trying to get air to that car, and it's just not working.
Yeah, I think this is kind of showcasing the strength of the setups that's coming into play. Gallimore, by the way, did find a friend. You may notice the two BMPs in this line are together. It's behind the 12 and company, but you can see that 11 and the 88 have found each other to give each other some friends to work with here.
Can you imagine if one of them able to come out of this with a win? That'd be so cool for them. They've had themselves a really tough season. Sometimes up front, but most of the time not very much up near the front. Probably top 15 cars here. But they're running right now 4th and 5th, battling for 5th. And I got to say, it's as long as they work together, there's no limit to what they can do here at Daytona.
Indeed. Look at Hill. Oh, William Owens all of a sudden wants to lead laps. And for Owens, opportunity to do something here. One of those in those precision power points. Again, he is one of 2 LRPs left in the field. In the case of Owens, there is one major constant. Can he stay out of trouble? He's got speed. He knows how to get to the front. The big thing in multiple different series this season for Owens has been avoiding rubbing doors like that and then seeing a spin around. And then falling into a spiral.
Yeah, that 30 car, like I said, has had an attrition problem, but leading the race right now. Oh my goodness, one bad push. He is so unstable with being pushed. Outside line's going to definitely take it over. Hoytsma now to the lead again, pushed by Paul Hill. Both cars have been having fantastic last 3 weeks. Now 1-2 yet again. Delaney there as well. Roman there. The real surprises here are Owens, Zodiac, and I'd say that's really it in the top 10 right now. Zodiac and Roman both, and Owens having really great days today.
Owens, that was his first lap of the season, by the way. That leaves just 15 drivers who haven't led a lap this season in appearances in the FLCC. Hill, though, he's looking to go and lead a lap. For reference, we've had more than 50 cars lead a lap this year.
That's quite a bit. Quite a bit, but not quite enough to get everybody a lap led. And it's hard to lead a lap in this series. You got a lot of talented guys who are just able to dominate up at the front most of the time. And at Super Speedways, it gives you an opportunity, and he's definitely taking advantage of it right now.
Indeed. I think Jacob Simpson's making the argument, one of the drivers who ran a 2-car last year. You could say this is kind of the same width in the corners. Visual test-wise, it runs different, though, because of that wash-up effect, I guess you could say, with Echo Park compared to Daytona, where it's full flat out. At Echo Park, you have to manage the good years, and it's big. Here, you can leave the tires on for 50 laps, maybe even near 100, and still run solid.
You're right. Tires don't mean as much at Talladega and Daytona as they do any other place. The big story, though, is, it takes 9 seconds or so to change 4 sets of tires, but to get a full fuel tank, it might take 12 or 13 seconds. So, because of that, your tires are more just a convenience. It allows you to make moves quicker with more confidence, and allows you to turn right a little bit less sketchy. but it's still not that much of a gain. It's very marginal.
Seems to be that case here tonight as they all rumble their way through. See a little bit of bobbling for Owens for the time being, but still, here's the big thing. Remember that lap count we talked about earlier on in the stage? Again, looping back to that, no to repeat, it's at 95. At this point, we're coming up to 31 to go in the stage. You can pit any certain time you want here, Kirk. The field's just, again, making it clear they want to at least race it out. They have 13 estimated laps to go, based on some of the estimates. Hoytsma win, oh boy, that was close.
Man, look at that tandem draft, though, from the top two. They kind of worked together to get a little bit of a gap. That died out so fast. And now let's take a look at Hoytsma, see what the heck happened to him.
I think there was that moment with Zodiac that opened his eyes and said, oh boy. Oh, they had a bad bump in live action, too. So
oh, big wreck. There goes. One's in the hard and the outside wall. Big wreck on the front straightaway. Oh, my goodness. It's the big one.
Track is blocked. Race control saying track is blocked. At least half the field is in it. We're under caution for our first incident of the day. Again, I think all that sparked from that second bad push up at the front, and then the energy just shuffled down the pack like a ricochet.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, just interesting timing. Oh, man, I could say right now that wreck was started all the way up into the top 5, I think it was. It was a push from Alan Duggar, I think. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, Alan Duggar gave a shot to the back bumper of Adam Benefiel. And what happened is that Benefiel car, actually prior to Duggar getting there, Benefiel was pushing Zodiac. And when Benefiel was pushing Zodiac, just contact happened between the two cars. Benefiel got unsettled. The 10 car made contact up into the outside wall, and everything else was a chain reaction. And all 3 of those pink machines were involved in that wreck to this time. So was the 01 of Casey Graves, the 88 of Kolmacheski, the 98 of Williams, 40 car of Jose Medina, 48 Tyler Hunter, 62 of Neil Pearson was involved, 19 of Hutchinson, and the 57 of Cameron Stone. So many cars involved in this one.
You're at the front of the field. You can mark yourself safe, I think, potentially there. If you're in the midst of that pack, not so much. And you end up joining the multitudes that end up with collateral damage as a result there. Under 95 to go. And this will allow everybody at least to take the fuel. Delaney is off and away as expected. Took a quick stop of only 10.7 seconds, but with 4 tires because they didn't need the entire tank to go to 12 seconds. A lot of repairs, though.
Can we actually go back while we're under this caution and look at that wreck from the 29 of Tanner Marty's cockpit? I think that's going to be something worth a while to take a look at. Oh, my goodness.
Let's see in a moment, but I think when you have already double-digit people still in pit road after the first 30 seconds, kind of says a lot. Cameron Stone getting repairs still. You have Tanner Marty who took a quick stop. You also have Pearson at the very least. How did this help him? Well, he didn't. It's still 2 laps down. Because of the time of the caution flag, he had to pit. He couldn't just take the weight because he would need an immediate yellow. Let's see. Give it back here.
Here we go. So that 29 car, you're gonna see him going down the back straightaway right here. Let's see. Can we? Is there like a? Yeah, there we go. That should work wonderfully. What you're gonna see is if you can turn the camera slightly to the right. I know you have the ability to play with it, but if you can, just out the right window almost, just a little bit more. Right there, perfect. Take a look at this right here on the exit. This guy, he's going to be going down the straight. Everything looks fine. And then smoke. He hears on the radio, there's smoke. There's a crash. Uh-oh. go to the apron, go to the grass, and everybody's wrecking on the upper side of him, and he's one of the last cars to make it through without hitting anything. And the 5 car, the 11, both in front got damaged, but that 29 was able to avoid any contact. What a run.
And so, with Benefield now out of the race, Jonathan Delaney and Blake Giglio are up at the front. And that will also see Zodiac, Hill, Owens, Hodgson, Isaacs, Tucker. There's a lot of underdogs here. You have Dave Hoytsma, who lost the touch to the main group at one point, who's in the top 10 now.
Love to hear it about my man, Dave Hoytsma. And guess what? He's got his son right there next to him, too. Keep that in mind. It's 2 cars starting side by side in the same row. It's probably worth getting a picture of that, for sure.
I think for their socials. As ride along and get ready for the restart. It's going to be an interesting perspective possibly to look along and watch along here, as at this point, a lot of these drivers are just hoping to make sure to survive the full 160. This at one point was one of the major iRacing long distance races that popped up in some cases. Remember back in the day, you had Daytona full distance. In NIS, you had this at one point was full distance too. That's how popular both the Daytonas were when it was in its original time date before the schedule change. That we've seen it move to the late summer rather than the midsummer per Daytona Beach request.
And now they get the Firecracker 400 for the 87s that took over that weekend. So I can tell you, though, now, this restart, you got a lot of cars with damage. It's going to be really telling to see how the rest of the race is going to go for some of these cars with damage. But you cannot afford to lose that lead draft. We'll see what happens here on the restart on lap 68.
Sucker ready. Green, slow start. Let's see if the outside stays together this time. Remember, they dropped back 4 or 5 car lengths originally on the push. This time, they'll sandwich together through 1 and 2 and try and pick the momentum back up, if you will. Top 19 stay in the pack that are on the lead lap. Of note, Medina already has lost touch. A couple of those still with damage are also losing immediate touch.
Giglio was able to recover. He was lost the draft at one point, but he is back up at the front, and he's just running away with this thing. It looks like the Dyson's off the pace. He's not going to be anywhere near the lead draft, and neither is the 40 car Jose Medina. He's gone, but it seems like from Bobby Anderson on forward, they're still in the lead draft from 19th on forward.
See how they zoom their way around the track so far out of the race. Benefield, Roman, Williams, Kleiman, Conklin. The time we run, we're down to just 1 with a black or purple stripe.
Nice. Lap 69. All right, nice. Going into turn 3. I can tell you that Dave Hoytsma car, I'm so hoping to see that 79 get the lead. Can you imagine?
I don't know about this with Dave, but it's been interesting. He's one of those who is a part of the not 15 who haven't led a lap yet, by the way.
Exactly. That's the point. I'm like, if he can do it, that'd be so cool. Come on, man. Get that to 79 to the lead. Let's see if it's possible.
I believe he is the only driver in the field tonight with the Maconi base, at least, with the Maconi logos at minimum.
Yep. He's definitely the representative right now for this series.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Jeff, you're screaming at the TV. But in all seriousness, though, you can see, though, it seems like people trust him as a pusher, but not as the person being pushed.
And Giglio went up and got in front of him for the outside line. The outside line is going to be changing very quickly. Wow, look how fast things changed. You know, I can't even commentate that. That happened so dang fast. 6 car went down. A bunch of cars went up. Hodgson and Tucker went up. Hill went up. Tucker down to the bottom. Oh, my goodness. It changes second by second. Little moves, little decisions is what's going to decide this race.
Yeah, and as they try and figure out who's going to have the better momentum swings here, they can all race to the end of the stage. Remember, 25 to go. We're a similar type of tempo now compared to the first stage again. And all this is to say, drivers like Lucas Hoytsman with that incident have dropped to the tail end of the order. A lot of others that have been fast tonight. Bobby Anderson, who was a contender at Daytona in the spring. You also have Ralph Hutchinson, at least, who's fixed the nose in the car, who's now cutting their way through. There's a whole bunch of places you can bounce to. But really speaking, a lot of the drivers that are here tonight love to race super speedways. That's the best way you can put it here. And know they have to maximize their points as well if they want to battle for the championship, because it's going to be very difficult to win the race in the championship, rather, from 16th in the title fight. It's a bit easier if you're, say, 12.
I'd say it's a lot easier if you were first or second, going for the big spots, but those are already taken, it seems like. So, grab what you can get. Every spot really does matter nowadays. And unless you already, did the work and you're comfortable, there's a few guys that feel that way. But look at that outside line. There's a car up there trying to make the top side work. I think that's Hoytsma up there, Lucas Hoytsma. Got to clarify because Dave's in here and he's doing a little bit better than his son right now.
I think Dave's priority is, instead of potentially losing the pack, be up in the pack. It's risky in case somebody makes contact here once things get uber intense. But if you feel like you've got the car, you may as well let yourself shine and show that you have speed so people remember that for later.
I'll never cease to think that it's so dang cool to have a father-son combo in a race like this, though. That's just something that, feels right. It's how it should be. Family racing, that's just so cool. It's fun to watch, and it breaks my heart thinking about all those chances that are gone away in the real stuff. So anyway, but happy the Hoytsmans are out there having some fun.
Yep, and I think they're about to reach lap traffic, by the way. Andrew Dyson, remember we talked about him? He's got nose damage still. It's about to fall lap down for the first time here tonight, or second time tonight. They'll keep us at 19 on the lead lap. But on the bright side, if you're on the lead lap, mostly everybody, in fact, everyone in that group has remained in the mix for the pack. As there goes Dyson up the racetrack. We'll have to hope for a lot to happen to get back on the lead lap. Same thing for Pearson. Same thing for a couple others here with the way things have gone tonight.
Man, some of these moves are just so late, though. Man, I saw a car go up. Giglio had like less than an inch to play with, and he made it work. It was not much, but it is amazing. Now, Dave Hoytsman leads the outside lane. Cameron Stone sitting right behind him. Is Cameron going to be able to push that Mr. Pibb car to the back bumper of the 79 to get him up to the lead? It looks like he is. Oh, my goodness. Here comes Dave to the outside.
Look at that. Can he get to the lead for the first time in 2026?
Oh, come on, man. Yeah. Come on, get there. Oh, man, he needs a little help. He needs a little help. 8 car needs to get on back in the 57. And that bottom lane needs to have a little bit of a checkup moment. But I don't know. It's going to need some help here in the corner to make it work. Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine? 79's almost there. He's so close. Final corner here. Come on, man. Get up there. It looks like he's got a good chance at it. Come on, man. There you go. First lap lead of the year. There you go, Dave. Way to go, buddy.
Indeed. As look at that. Dave Hoytsma makes it only 14 cars yet to lead a lap this season. Little bit of a big push there. And look at that. Giglio trying to help out the father of one of the drivers he works with at Kansas City Pioneers.
Oh, my goodness. Back in the field, 5 car almost got turned by the 37. They were able to hang on to it, though. But, yeah, 8 car. That 79's learning a lesson right now on how hard people can push. That 8 car's pretty dang good at it. Oh, my goodness. He got shot up the hill. 8 car's going to get shuffled out. Tanner Marty gave him a bad shot.
To the back goes Giglio. And he'll be forced to reset with under 20 to go in the stage. On the bright side, he's still got a race car. There are 2 drivers left in this field tonight that can potentially break that streak of no lead laps and get out of that 14 not leading the season category. Nicholas Isaacs, Brian Wortman. The thing is, for Wortman, he's laps down. So the only hope to break that statistic again is if the 2 in the purple one-water car comes to the pack and gets up to the front of the field here tonight. Somebody tell Nicholas.
I think that'd be cool. But Cameron Stone in the Pib Extra car. Love seeing him lead a race. Doesn't matter where it is. Cameron, he's such a dang cool guy. He has such a fun attitude. He's fun. And I love this drink choice. Heck yeah, that's my go-to when I visit home back in Tennessee. Pib X, always. Love that stuff. Tastes like Dr. Pepper. If anyone's never had it, I understand. It's good stuff. It's better than Dr. Pepper, in my opinion.
I've thought that was a thing from a TV show when I first heard about it.
Oh, no, Pib Extra. Yeah, no, it's good. It's a real good drink. I promise you that. If you ever find yourself down in the east side of the country, East Tennessee, it's also, you can get it anywhere, I think, but it's not as popular anywhere outside of the east side of the states, so southeast, I should say.
Apparently, I know in Canada you have to special order that.
Oh, yeah,
big released. Big time special order. Especially if you want anything. I don't even know where to even start from that, but I know apparently it's a popular conversation and it's become a very unique drink. You have to go to a specialty store, at least in my region, that would have it. Everywhere else, good luck.
Yeah,
at least
they got it on
Canadian
tap
side.
back home. They got it on tap in some places. Pals, for example, Pals Southern Service, shout out. Love that little group. They got themselves quite a restaurant. Not a bad spot.
Didn't it just return from the 1970s?
No, it's not much has changed. It's been out there for a while. Oh my goodness. Sorry, this 79 back there is just making some crazy moves. I'm sorry. He almost went down in front of Duggar and almost caused a problem. The outside line has died, by the way, folks.
Yes, indeed it has. The EPI fanfare is building up for Hunter, by the way. Still remaining in third. You have to give credit to Tyler Hunter tonight. He's driven the exact race he kind of needed to not only take command of the top part of the 16 to get into the 16 driver chase potentially, but also he's almost gotten himself to where he won't be caught by anybody else left in this field to get a chase spot after starting below the cut line coming in.
That just means he's having a great night, and those folks that needed to show up didn't. So hopefully he's able to continue that. Have a good night. That's the main point of this whole thing. And with the chase starting up here soon, all I can say is that I'm just excited to see how it goes. This is the first time we're actually going to be using something that resembles doing good in the regular season isn't just about winning one race and then chilling. You got to be good the whole time. And really, we're going to see how that looks over the next 10 weeks.
Absolutely. And what's turned into our calmest period of the race, Jose Medina, by the way, has come down pit road and taken service as the first to engage machine in our series. It's done. Oh, hearing a blown motor. Michael Tucker has blown a motor. The 36 has reported unblown on the radio, but he isn't slowing down. I think he means I'm about to blow up was what he actually meant.
Everybody was, your car's good, bud. Don't worry about it. Just go. You're good. Apparently that car's not blown up yet. I don't know what that was all about.
I think he meant he was in the red and about to pop the motor in front of the field.
Oh, no. That's how you get everybody to get away from you, though. I mean, that's a good way to do it.
So, as this goes on, again, the Mr. Pibb Extra car, or the Pibb Extra, if you will, is up in front. Now, this is again per an article that discussed some of the comeback that it's made in recent years, especially with it expanding across the country, a part of the Coca-Cola lines in 2026. Remember, it came out in 1972. It was called Mr. Pibb. Was originally called actually Peppo. Was sued by Dr. Pepper because the names were too similar. And then it was revived as Pibb Extra in the 2000s. It's been reformulated and put back to Mr. Pibb for 2026. In our words, Pibb Extra is the second to most recent rebrand of Mr. Pibb. In our words, I think there's a certain family in American Dad that's going to be cheering about the Pibb factory.
Man, all I can say is I love that. I love that stuff. It's such a good stuff. And the thing is that we just got word from Tucker here. He's saying that if he continues to push like he has been, he's going to blow up. He's, I think it's all just air right now. Don't worry about it. We only got about 5 more laps anyway to the end of the stage, don't we?
We're already at 10 to go in the stage.
10 to go. There we go.
95. Now, I don't know why Tucker doesn't back to the line yet. Yes, I know the goal is to get to the front here. But if you're going to blow up, you keep pushing, and the entire field keeps pushing you back in to be a pusher to help out the others in front of you, isn't that counterintuitive and potentially risky for yourself, for your goal of staying up front later?
I think the thing he's trying to do, he's just trying to stay in contention, but he doesn't want folks right up on his tail pushing him 3 cars at a time. Because if you have that, you can't lift and expect to keep the cars, pointed in the right direction. So it's important for him to, get comfortable with this type of pushing. It's just going to happen that way. He's now the 3rd car in line, though. It should help him. Zodiac now pushing the car on the outside line, I believe.
There's 74 laps to go. We are already past halfway overall in this one tonight. That halfway was at lap 80. Something's going to have to give for some of these drivers here. They want to pass by Stone. Again, now led 10 laps in this stretch. Was one of the 3 in the pink, one of the Pibb that spun out a part of the paint scheme collab here tonight. One last note on that paint scheme side of things is the reason why it wasn't a pink Toyota for Stone tonight. Paint scheme was already pre-designed for tonight, a part of the Soda Wars 400 theme for Stone. It's kind of lived up to almost be the curse of the pink car here tonight. The same thing popped up in another series of the curse of another sponsor that popped up with some of the drivers that we've seen in New Hampshire, actually. I will say, Black Flag has had one curse week. Conti has had its curse at Daytona.
Yeah, this has just not been a good day for them, except for one of their cars. It's the Pibb car. Man, I am a kind of a happy camper. I got a little bit of a, only because the paint really kind of stands out and I like his personality. That 57 winning this race would be kind of cool.
Yes, indeed.
I tell you what, Justin, I had just ordered a 24-pack of that Pibb stuff, so the advertisement worked. That was good. That's a good thing. Cannot wait for that to show.
Did you have to order it across country?
I did. On Walmart, it had a $3 shipping fee because I live not in a spot where Pibb's normal, so cannot wait to have some of that. Not going to be bad.
Okay, then. That is...
Live advertisement. That's how it works. It just does well.
I mean, Adam Benefield said tonight they wanted to give a reason to talk about the Conti camp tonight. They found multiple ways to do it. I just don't think they expect the Pibb car to get more of the attention.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of the odd man out. Those pink cars weren't really advertising much at all.
They were advertising that they were pink.
Yeah, I don't think I could buy the color pink.
I'm not going to even go that route, but more importantly, we're coming up to 5 laps to go. And look who's coming. Hutchinson damaged the nose again, by the way. I don't think he realizes it.
This pushing stuff, you got to be so careful. It makes me feel like I just don't want to push it all until the end of the race in hopes that I don't get a dented in front nose, which is so easy to get.
I'm keeping an eye on one of those who is now in the conversation. Remember Bobby Anderson? He's one of those who is trying to keep up at the front. He is currently trying to make sure he gets himself into the chase also. Bobby was strong at Daytona, but he's been dealing with damage from that incident. The Dr. Pepper machine cannot seem to close the bumper to Paul Hill to help them out on the inside.
Now, whether or not that outside line comes back, I don't see it happening before the end of the stage. It's just not enough momentum, but you got a Hoytsma out there, so anything could happen. He just got to get the right push. And unfortunately, with that front end damage, it's just so hard to make it work go forward, you know?
It's difficult, to say the very least, and we kind of seen that all night. With how things have gone tonight, with under 4 laps to go in the stage, things are about to have to pick up soon. And right now, only the inside line has got the true momentum. Hodgson's got Owens willing to work, and Owens said, nope, I used you as a draft device. Gigo says, I trust you. I'm going to go to the outside instead, though, because Hutchinson pushed him along. And we have someone making a pit stop. Pearson is going to take a risk of losing another lap here in pit. And he's sped.
I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily the worst idea. Everybody's going to pit for fuel and tires, and Pearson, as long as he stays on the lead lap, I think that's possible. It's not impossible. Or he entered his pit real slow, though. I'm real worried about that, actually.
He sped, remember, just mentioned. So,
it's
not going to matter anyway.
No, forget about it. Yeah, he's in trouble.
I think he just lost the chase right then and there with this call. But up at the front, though, William Owens nearly got collected into Anderson down the track. 2 to go, stage 2.
Now, if you are Delaney or Tyler Hunter, when are you going to peek your nose out? Got Owens trying to go up on the outside, trying to move the outside line going. Keep an eye on it because he's getting momentum. He's going to have a big old run on the exit of turn 2.
Yes, indeed. As they all work themselves up and through. You can see the momentum being picked up to the outside of the 26. Owens wants to lead again. Led only 1 lap tonight, but Hunter knows how to hunt. He goes for second. 1 to go.
All right, is it. Tyler Hunter to the outside with help from William Owens on the top side, giving big push. Cameron Stone with no help. It's going to be a big problem on the exit of 2.
Here comes Hunter. Hunter now up at the front for EPI. Owens for LRP now up to second. When does Owens leave him out to dry? Stone comes up to the bumper. Owens and Hunter gets turned. Oh, no. Owens spinning in front of the field, still trying to save it, does. And I don't know who wins the stage, but Hill is up in front. That being said, Tyler Hunter, we talked about needing to get the stage points, and he might get good, Kirk. This has gone bad for him.
And I hate to see that, man. Just right bumper hook. It wasn't right on the tail there, but definitely not the most fun situation. Oh, man, biggest hit of the night by far. He collects the 10-car Duggar there, but look, the 30 car is going to get a shot from Stone. Stone then gets that 30 car, gets the 48 unsettled, and then hits him right in the wrong spot up into the wall, and oh, it breaks my heart. Tyler Hunter, man, he was in a position, absolutely in a position to be able to make it in. And it's just, man, my heart is broken for the guy. Tyler Hunter, what is that going to put him in? I think he's in a position now that, is he going to be out?
There is a chance. Unofficial top 10. This is where they are under the caution. Or this is, again, going to be confusing. Jonathan Delaney, Paul Hill, Cameron Stone, Nolan Hodgson, how they crossed. Marty, Owens, Anderson,
oh my gosh.
Gallimore, Tucker, Isaacs, Now, it might be different for how they
Oh.
score it depending on where they are at the top of the yellow. This might have to get reviewed by race control to get the exact order. I think that's what they're trying to clarify right now to us to make sure that information goes in correctly. Stage 2 points, they just confirmed, are unofficial at the moment.
Oh my gosh. But Tyler Hunter right now, I will tell you this right now. I just looked here at this screen here, and there is a good shot. Because we know Tyler Hunter most likely did not get any stage points at all. So that we could say that for a fact. I think that Tyler Hunter, if he finishes 23rd, which is right now the lowest he could finish, because 23rd is Jose Medina, 6 laps down. No one else is on the racetrack below that. He's still in by like a point. But like the other cars, once we figure out how the stage points actually settle out, we'll know. But Tyler Hunter needs to repair his car. If it's done for the night, it's gonna be uber close, man.
That might be decimated. Yeah, look at the right front. That's not even attached. There's no fender on it.
I'm going to go down there and see if he actually has any damage repair or if there's any chance. Because if he has any chance at all, he got to stay in that car.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get the restart. Stage 3 with drama on the line. You're watching Maconi. Getting all set to get back to under action here. Nolan Hodgson in control as we come up to the restart. Cameron Stone, Jonathan Delaney, Paul Hill, Tanner Marty, Lucas Hoitzma, Nicholas Isaacs, Kevin Soziak amongst the order. So we get ready to go. Lots up in the air, but it's pretty clear Hunter has lost control of his destiny with the incident. He is now laps down and likely to finish 23rd at the best. We're back underway as the field gets itself rolling. Let's see how this works for this front of the field as we have more than 60 laps to go.
On this restart, we're going to bring Tyler Hunter in here and talk to him while we're watching live. Tyler, talk to us about that wreck.
Ah, man. What a crushing race. We got, one lap to go, or on the final lap there, and I seen Will's line surging, and my spotter called it out, so I went to the high line, and I was going to bring Will with me, so I cleared both of us, and as soon as I got to the bottom, I don't know if he just hit me in the right rear, at least based off of looking at it, he tagged me in the right rear, and then I don't think he really had an opportunity to check up or even really stop from nailing into the right rear of my car there.
Yeah, it was ever so close, man. I hate to see that happen to you, but it's not necessarily out of the woods yet. A lot of things can still happen. It's just not in your hands anymore. Anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to shout out EPI, and I do want to shout out my spotter, Nolan here. He was a rock star on the calls tonight, helping me out and getting me in the holes that probably shouldn't have been holes, but I feel like we did everything we should have done tonight. Just now I have no control over it.
Yep. Well, we'll be rooting for you, Tyler. Hope you have a better rest of your week, okay, my man?
Thank you, boys. Good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you. Back to you, Justin.
Yes, indeed. And Tyler Hunter definitely sounding deflated there. And now we'll have to try and hope for the best here tonight. Oh, hold on. They're going to wreck for the lead. Lucas Hoytsma cradled on the apron, slides down with Cameron Stone. They're both sliding to the inside wall with a caution out.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I think they both hit the wall as that was for the lead.
Oh, yep. Kevin Zosiak was... I could tell you right now that there is no meatball on Hoytsma. He should be able to get that damage repaired. But what ended up happening here was the 37 of Zosiak, who had the lead on the outside line, was going down to side draft. But then at the same time, Hoytsma was coming up to side draft the outside line. Watch this. They come together. And they lean, door contact, 57 stuck, gets the 97 turned around. 6-car Delaney has to go way down low to avoid the contact. And Zosiak's going to be the one with the lead. But with that wreck, there is a good chance here that the 20 car, sorry, the 62 Neil Pearson, here's the deal, all right? Neil Pearson and Tyler Hunter. These two are on that cut line right now if everything continues to be the way it is, I think. We're going to look at Tanner Marty, too. Tanner Marty's finishing position is going to matter quite a bit. It's going to be hard to even tell where everybody's going to end up at the end of this day. But... what I could see is that they will be tied, Pearson and Hunter, if Hunter finishes 23rd and if Pearson finishes 20th. We know for a fact that the 23rd spot is most certainly going to be going to the driver of Tyler Hunter if Dyson passes him, which is expected. However, again, if that Neil Pearson car, who is currently 3 laps down, is able to get back on the lead lap and pass just one car, he's safe. So now it's all about Neil Pearson. Neil Pearson has a way to get in. He's just got to get his laps back.
I think a lot of these drivers here in the race at the moment here, Kirk, though, with how many you've just seen peel down pit road, are kind of saying they don't want to even risk taking the green flag stop later on in case there's another incident. They're absolutely thinking about big picture here. How many top splits we've seen? Only 4 decided not to take the free pit stop, if you will, under this caution. And one of them has damage in Zosiak. You know what this also does? It pins cars a lap down.
Yeah, it pins Neil Pearson a lap down. He's not going to get a lap back. And Neil Pearson knows it because he typed in chat and he said no. Kevin Zosiak said no. So they're typing in the chat right now. And I could tell you, man, it is... Oh, man, it's just a little heartbreaking right now for that, you know? I think, is Hoytsma still out there? Hoytsma's going to need to get back out on the racetrack. So is Cameron Stone. If they both get back out there, it's still a tie. A actual tie for the cut line at 4:35, which is Oh man, I can't even tell you what their tiebreaker is right now. I have to go and check the rule book.
Yeah, that is going to be a question for race control if that comes to play. There's still time in the race, but it's going to require some DNFs in some cases for some of the drivers here have a chance to move on. Right now, though, some drivers looking to pull off upsets are up at the front. We already talked with one team member. Let's talk with the other from Stealth. Why? Because for whatever reason, the Stealth machines have been fast tonight. Kevin Zosiak, the Ladybug, is up front. Kevin, you've got damage. How's the car feel?
Oh, we're going to find out in a second. Right now, it feels pretty good, but yeah, like you said, I think I have a little bit of damage.
Your entire front nose is crushed in at the moment. So, so the question becomes, what comes down to staying out and not taking the top off, like at least most of the field did the first wave, and at least a quarter just did the second?
Yeah, I still don't think we can make it, but I guess I don't know, I guess it's closer than I thought.
I don't think you can make it either.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone wants to risk in case there's an air wreck either. But
yeah, that's true.
What's the
I'm
game?
used to being in the front, so I figure I'd enjoy it while it lasts.
What's brought the stealth machine so much speed tonight?
I don't know. I'm usually pretty decent at Daytona, so help with the teammates seems to be helping too. So we're try to stay out front.
But you get back to your teammate tonight as we'll see how things go on the restart.
Sounds good. Thanks.
I got to tell you, Justin, prior to this race starting, I went inside of their voice chat while they were in practice before we went live. And I don't know why, but I didn't go to anybody else's chat, but I really had a good feeling about Stealth today. I don't know why, but just today, it seems like I had a good feeling about it. And it just seems to be working their way right now. But remember, things change so fast. I saw Tucker in there, Zosiak, and also the 7. 7 car had his connection issues. That's why he's out of the race. But he was up front for a while. Rich was doing it's his first race back in a while. It's unfortunate to see him have a rough run. But again, Kevin and Michael, I think they're going to be really ones to watch tonight. I think they're doing a great job.
So with that in mind, get ready for a restart. Report from the 97 crew just came in from an account called Lou Hoyt. That sounds like a Lucas Hoytsma alt account. Either way, it's 5 minutes for the 97 at the moment. Regardless, that's going to be pretty huge for Lucas, who's starting 17th as we're backing away. You see right now.
I think we may have lost Justin there. Are you back, buddy?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Look at Dave leading the outside. Tucker's pushing him.
Sometimes pressing the wrong buttons is a bad thing. In that case, indeed. I don't know what you just said, but I can say Dave Hoytsma is saying, I want to lead. So here we go. It's Hoytsma up in front with the help of Michael Tucker. Again. Oh no, Bobby Anderson brings everyone else around. And let's do it again.
Oh no, not the 37. We were just talking about him. We just talked to him. And the 5 car, Bobby Anderson, the owner of the league. Let's see how that went down. Down out of turn 4 and just a bad push. And it was a big wreck. Multiple cars were involved. Holy cow, that ended up being way bigger than I originally thought.
That's half the field, Kirk. Because the first part, I think it would have been okay. With
Pearson's in it.
Yes, that is huge. Right there, you see the stack up. Pearson off the ground from the contact.
Oh, my goodness.
Anderson takes the speeding penalty. It's a parking lot in the infield. And at this point, we're running out of race cars.
Wow, the 2 car, Isaacs, Delaney, Gallimore, Williams, Hoytsma, Casey Graves. Everybody's been in a wreck tonight. I don't think anybody's been scot-free except Dave Hoytsma and maybe, just Dave, I think. Everybody else has had a little bit of a piece.
Yeah.
But there is some news I want to mention. Andrew Dyson in that pink car that was up at the front when that wreck was, starting is multiple laps down in 20 seconds, 6 laps down, and he's the one who was pushing the 5 car. Dyson, 5 laps down, pushes the 5 in a manner that causes the big one.
Dave Hoyt's the only one not to pit this time, but I don't know what else to say other than if you're a part of this field, I think you're banking on a caution flag because at this point, it might be a gamble to hope that you stay green the rest of the way, even with the amount of drivers here. There are a lot of long repair bills being put in for those pit crews and long hours. Tucker and Hutchinson were the only top-offs. Tanner Marty and Nolan Hodgson on tires. Every other car in the field has damage.
Oh my gosh. It's carnage. Survival is going to be the name of the game. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. We're going to get a winner that is not normal. Dave Hoytsma leading the dang race? Are you kidding me? My man, we got to talk to Dave. If there's a way we can bring him in here. Good Lord, we got to talk to him.
I don't know where Dave is, but
He's not there. Oh no.
I can say at the very least, he's got to be pumped up right now. Highest out of those we can definitely talk to, though, is Ralph Hutchinson, who has had a mar of a night. More than a minute of repairs for at least 15 cars. Ralph Hutchinson is not one of the cars getting repairs, we can tell you that. Ralph, you've been able to fix the front bumper twice tonight. How would you describe your evening?
It's been a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's something about the vibe tonight with the majority without a ton to gain or lose tonight. We're trying to obviously help our teammate Neil Pearson get in wherever we can, but it's been a lot of fun to just go rip, go race, take every run, and I guess that's why we have 5 unwounded cars left. So, yeah, been a blast.
There are more people topping off. Why didn't you top off?
I think we're where we want to be as far as the number of clicks we feel we need in our stop. So, keeping the track position here at this point. Not that there's really too much to be held, I guess. What am I here, P2? I don't even know.
You're second.
Front row. All right. Here we go.
I was about to say, that's 53 laps you have to make it, Ralph.
Everybody has to stop regardless.
Okay.
From here. So it's just deciding what you want to do on that stop, I think, is what everybody's working through at this point. Now another yellow or two, which I guess you could say seems likely. You never know.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens for you here. We'll let you get back to your team to game plan because you're in second, and the amount of clean cars left is under 5. We're at 4 on the lead lap.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I think Ralph's in disbelief that he's up here, but also that even though he's in the repair list, there's not a lot of people left with clean race cars tonight.
If you would have told me at the beginning of this race that it was going to end up being the majority of the field involved in wrecks, I probably would have believed it. Mostly just because it's the last race before the chase. And, this is the one where the vibe is like, hey, as long as I go out there and do my best, I'm going to be fine. I mean, we had a whole season of regular trying to beat and bang, get all we can get. But now it's super speedway at the end. Go for it. Do something. And we're seeing that tonight. I can tell you, if Michael Tucker, Tanner Marty, and Dave Hoytsma is ever in the top 5 outside of this again, I'll be just stunned. This is an amazing, amazing day for these guys. And now Cameron Stone's still sitting in the possible top 5 spot, too, because he was in a wreck. He had a wreck, and he's now sitting second row. Look at this restart. What is this?
So after the push by Giglio to the bumper of Dyson, who was trying to give a small tap to Bobby Anderson, it puts us back to restart with less than 5 cars on the lead lap who have clean machines. And I hear Cameron Stone's got a meatball flag.
Oh, I think I know what he's doing.
Car's driving,
his
but
car's broke.
he's got to come down pit road. I don't think something obviously happened to where he stayed out, and probably hoped he can do more. But the PIB machine makes it 4 for 4 in Conti machine that have got it crumpled.
Oh my gosh.
Do you think it's a blown tire?
It has to be. I mean, it has to be something. Or it could be that he had a meatball the entire time and he just can't. He wanted to try and pass all those cars.
Came up as we went to green, hearing from our producer tonight and Howie Burrows.
He's staying out.
He's got to get disqualified if he doesn't come in a minute.
I think that's what he doesn't really have a choice. Oh my goodness. Neil Pearson just made up an extra spot. That would put him up.
Unofficially, could be, yes, in the green, Kirk. 1 point difference. Now for the final spot in the chase. 436 projection to 435 for Hunter. Marty also has an opportunity. For those who don't know what a meatball flag is, it's a flag with a meatball on it. It's also known as, in real life, the mechanical flag. And it comes into play for so many people tonight. And we still have many that have those mechanical flags that have been a part of the warfare that is Daytona. With the Soda Wars 400, the offensive has gone into defensive.
All right, I just did some math here. Duggar is in a must-win position. Marty is in a must-win position. These guys got to win this race today if they want to make it into the chase. They have to win. If they don't win, they are out. But Marty has a chance, and looking at this pylon, so does Duggar. Even though he's got a lot of front-end damage, he's still there. He can definitely end up in the right spot at the right time. There are drivers who can get in just by winning. You never know what's going to happen.
Honestly, a top 10 might do it for Duggar's case, depending on what the points calculation goes to here. But here's the problem. He's going to be dealing with a wounded race car the rest of the way and has to think about a pit stop and has nobody to work with left out of those that are surviving. Yeah, for reference, a top 10 doesn't do it for Duggar.
No, it doesn't. Duggar needs to win. Second doesn't do it. First is the only spot that would get him in.
Second would tie him for the position. So there's so much that can happen based on the point structure here tonight in terms of projections, just playing around with some of the spreadsheet numbers on our end to see what that would look like. That being said, outside of that, I am going to be curious to see who is uber aggressive and if we just see everyone be conservative, especially with Dave Hoytsma going to be, if this goes green, he needs a caution because he'd be the first one to have to pit without any other help for at least 10 laps.
Can you imagine if Dave Hoytsma was able to come out of this with, he led his first lap all season and now he's led like a handful. This is just so surreal.
Even though this is going to be a big talking point the rest of the way, though, this is going to be the curious part for some of the rest of the drivers here the rest of the night is now with only 20 cars running, of them, 15 are in the main pack. Another one to keep an eye on here in the conversation in terms of super speedway side. Have we even thought about what this is all going to do to the super speedway points by the end of the night? Because
God, I don't even want to think about it. Good Lord.
Because they still have Talladega for the Shake and Bake 500 later in the year. But the biggest thing is the entire top 4 have had disastrous nights. Top 6, actually. Top 5, rather, because Paul Hill, who was in the danger zone of even having a chance for that championship, is the best out of that. What I'm saying is, even though Vroom Vroom had a terrible night, every other driver that needed a good night to close the gap, Kirk, in that title fight, had a even worse night, if not significantly worse, or equally worse.
Oh, big wreck, another one. There they go. Multiple cars around. The 10-car Duggar's involved. That's going to probably tank his playoff hopes. Not playoff, chase hopes. There we go. You got the 5-car involved again. The 2-car. The 11 of Gallimore. Oh, my gosh. You have got to be kidding me.
Caution is out again.
Oh, my goodness. Good grief.
Let's talk us through this one because, Kirk, you've seen it first. Noah Hodgson wants those turn quickly. Casey Graves was asking a bunch of questions there. Was he trying to go through the hole?
Yeah, the 12 car, and yeah, Nolan was trying to get down into the spot between the 8 and the 11. And the 8 car was there. Look at that 8 car. He's going to get a lot of momentum. He's going to catch up to the 97. But watch what he does here. 8 car going into the corner. It's got the momentum. And that 8 car is going to be able to get ahead. And when that happens, you can see the 12 car Nolan try to get in that little hole there. But that hole closes up so fast. Contact. And the 01, the 11, 01's lucky to get away with that. If you look off the back bumper of the 01 back at the rest of the field, I think there's a camera angle for that. Yeah, I think that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to watch. I think they call that the gearbox right here. Oh, yep, and just chaos behind him. It's one of those shots that is just terrifying in racing. Hate to see it, but Kulmacheski made his way through. Kulmacheski still made his way through, and guess who's still in the dang lead? It's still Dave Oitzma. Are you kidding me? He's probably going to be pitting here, though. There's probably little doubt that we're going to see a lot of folks come down.
I wouldn't be surprised if the whole field does. Yes, yep, indeed. There they go.
You got to.
This gets you to the end. And all the lead lappers are coming down one by one. Dave Hoytzman wants those on the jacks. A couple of the Price chopper machines missed their stalls. Only drivers staying down include Dyson on the wave around and a couple others that are hoping for the best. Michael Tucker, first off, fuel only. Ralph Hutchinson, fuel only. Marty, fuel only. Fuel only. Hill. Everyone else took a set of tires.
Look how many cars still sitting on pit road getting damage repair. Oh my goodness. It's just at least 20 cars sitting down there on pit road.
So we already talked to some of the drivers up the front of the field earlier on in the night. So for the time being, because plot and plan mode, there's a lot of pressure though on the LRP camp now because one driver missed the start. One driver has been involved in some of the trouble, and one is in a conversation hoping for a win to get in, basically, for the chase. Tanner, pressure is on for you. You're third. What is going through your mind if you want to make the chase?
I just keep myself in a good position to be there to win at the end. Don't put myself in a bad spot. If it goes south here, I'm up towards the front. Just play safe, but make a move if I need to on the outside, and yeah, just put myself in the right spot.
Yeah, just did a quick math. If you win this race, you're likely in. So what are you going to do to try and win this race, especially with one teammate that's been a part of the attrition and one who didn't even make the start tonight?
Try and stay with that high line or stay off the bottom at the end so I don't get held down and really given no options. So keep myself on the high line and give myself options at the end.
What would it mean for you to make the chase?
It'd mean a lot. It's a really good league, and I feel like I'm competing way out of my element a lot of the time, so consistency is good here. It's good to see that showing up every week means something, so hopefully I can tap it with a win here and get into the chase here.
And you know, Tanner, I'm sorry to interrupt there. I got to say, Tanner, I just got to say, if you are able to win this race, you're in, and not just 16th, not 15th, you would be 14th seed if you win. But if you don't quite make the win and you get second, you're out. You're in a must-win spot, man. I know you can do it. Go out there, kick some tail.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And so the Lunar Racing Performance Machine, I think he pumped up the pressure for him there again, Kirk, because the pressure is on for him.
Oh, he
There's
knows it.
only 14 on the lead lap.
Oh, man. I just think that it really changed everything once these big wrecks kind of went down. It's just having big wreck after big wreck, and I don't even think we're done having wrecks. I'd be stunned if we were done having wrecks right now. We're going to have these cars catching up to the back end of the field. I can't even tell you how this is going to look at the end of this thing, but if you were to invert the entire lineup right now, I kind of believe that as being the correct order, just from a regular track. But tonight, it is just wild to see the different contenders up front who we normally don't see. Brian Wortman is 8th, Paul Gallimore 9th, Thomas Kolmacheski in 10th. You got Dave Hoitzma in 6th, Michael Tucker in 3rd, and Tanner Marty in 2nd. This is just an absolutely wonderful night for some of these guys.
By the way, I know there was a question, what about the Lucky Dogs situation? Nicholas Isaacs didn't get it, remember, because he was a part of the contact for the most recent caution. We're back on our way with Hutchinson now the leader. Tanner Marty didn't get a great start. The outside going in, Wortman came up with a black flag. The 74 is asking for a clear. Race control to clear it.
They will clear it if they did clear it. Good. He didn't do anything wrong.
But we're inside the fuel window. Bobby Anderson is now officially out of the race. We're back to 21 running because one of the cars decimated. 2 of the cars decimated have actually come back. Jonathan Delaney and Kevin Zosiak fixed all their mandatory repairs, Kirk, and are back in the event, looking to try and see if they can pick up a spot or 2.
Wow. 6 cars still. I mean, he was involved in that wreck big time, and he's still trying to make that 3rd lane work. I give him props, man. He's still trying to do something good. Cars leaning on each other in the back of the field. I saw a 10 car leaning on the 97. Duggar still out there is such an important point because Duggar can still win his way in as well.
Coming up to 40 to go. Here comes the 8. Up to the front goes Giglio. Can he get himself to the point? He will. But Tanner Marty follows him on the bumper and wants to push. It looks like the Chevys looking to work together at least.
Tandem drafting, working together. Giglio leading the thing now. But Tanner Marty sitting there, P2, and he knows what he's got to do. He just knows what he's got to do.
Exactly. And in the words of Jedi Taylor, I didn't know Kirk made pressure cookers. I mean, Jedi Taylor, by the way, watching the action after we've seen what happened the last time we visited Daytona for this series. And this track for this year is a pressure cooker. Next year, I believe it's Darlington. But the cutoff, I mean.
I'm over here. I'm going to send over a paint scheme for you for the 8 car because that paint's a little different there. But I can say right now that I appreciate that comment. That is kind of funny. All I was trying to do is just let him know about his situation. He's got it in front of him. He can do it. I really do have faith. He's just got to stay alive.
I mean, the last person we talked about their situation, Kevin Zosiak, in terms of speed, he immediately responded with commentator's curse after the incident.
No such thing. All right.
I mean, it's funny how many times it happens, though. I mean, Zosiak at least has a clean car. That's why, even though he's not in contention at all for the race win, he's got a chance to unlap one of the laps back. As long as he stays out of trouble here, he's willing to maybe give an assist. So, obviously, one of the other drivers that's in all this, Casey Graves, has had a roller coaster of a night too. Another one of the rookies that, if realistically speaking here, Kirk, is actually also a part of that spreadsheet. He's had such a quiet night. We haven't talked about it because he had one of the biggest holes to climb with how he did in the stages.
Talking about which one again?
Casey Graves.
Graves, yeah. I tried to look at him to see if it was possible for him to point his way in. Even with a win, he would be about 4 points shy. So I think Graves is going to need something to put Pearson back a lot to even have a chance here. But Pearson's the key. Pearson's going to be the only way he's going to be able to get his way into this, really, from the 0-1 standpoint.
I'm very nervous about that, with how this can go. On that note, though, as we rumble our way through, a lot of those with the heavy damage, like Lucas Hoitzma, are making their way back into the top 10. You also have William Owens with the damage. You have Paul Gallimore with the damage. Repair. Should I say the punched in front nose, that's going to have to get repaired again. I think for a lot of this field, the reason you see the single file, nobody wants to join the DNF list again because we're lucky to still have 21 running. But again, it's taken a lot of effort to get here tonight. And I think drivers saying, oh, there's a wreck down the back straightaway, but there wasn't. We all seen it. I think they meant to breed down the back straightaway, but said wreck on the radio.
I can tell you right now what's happening.
Yes.
We're having fuel safe. Everyone in this line is fuel saving 100%. And when that happens, you have to lift. You can see how little they're really going for. It's just because they need to make it on gas. Honestly, yeah, I see a piece of debris too over here in turn 1. Look out, it's right there. You just, might as well throw a yell for it. I don't know. Just saying it's not going to be too eventful without any cautions. Just telling you that now.
Oh,
and we got a paint scheme. We got it. There you go. That's Giglio's paint. All right. Coca-Cola's. There you go.
I mean, he does run for a team in the Coke Series. Why wouldn't it be Coke represented in the Soda Wars 400? In fact, that is a Coke paint, I think, possibly, that he originally had tonight.
Yes, it was. I got to give credit where credit's due. There's a driver out here that honestly does not have the speed to be up in the top 15 that is tonight, and I do want to give him a little bit of a shout out. And it's mostly due to the attrition of the race, but I'm still going to say it. That is Brian Workman in the 74. He's running 14th, last car on the line, still in the lead pack, and all he's doing is just riding around in the back. He's pulling an old Tony Stewart car, ride around in the back until all the chaos gets cleared and then jump to the front. And I could say that 57 in the 6 right there. Remember the 57? He had a meatball a little while ago. And now he's getting pushed from the 6 all the way from the back to the front. But the thing is that I don't think that car, is he still in the lead lap? No, he's not. He's 3 laps down, but he's second car in line on the outside now. And Zodiac is 11 laps down. He's the first car on the outside line.
Some interesting dynamics, I think you can say, when you have a race the way it's gone tonight.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're a team boss, kind of what's your reaction to all this to keep your drivers calm?
Well, there's some team bosses that don't have any drivers in this field anymore. They turn it off and went on to, do other things. But if I'm looking out here at what's left of this field, I'm shaking my head. I'm like, dude, just avoid the wrecks. Good luck. I'll watch you from high above. Just don't wreck the car, and you will have a good day.
I mean, that's always the super speedway goal with a full distance race like this. Absolutely. It's been that case for a long time. Top 3 all work together. Now, I am keeping an eye on fuel projections here based on some of the estimates. In terms of some of the gas numbers, I think it's still going to be, some of the drivers going to be a pretty close. But
Oh my gosh. I just realized something here there, Justin.
what?
That outside line. All of them are multiple laps down except for Delaney.
Yeah. Delaney's got to get out of the line, possibly. Well, Delaney is multiple laps down, too.
But he is? I thought
Yeah.
he was only. Oh, no, he is. All of them are a lap down. Okay, what's this all about? I thought the 6 was still in there. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry.
Is there a chance anyone uses Soziak as a help car here? Or does Soziak even help anybody later? Because he's got the best car to do that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what they're racing for.
Pride, fun.
Fun. That one, I believe. Yeah.
They want to complete all the laps they can. Multiple different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but just one mistake back there with some lead lappers right around you, too. I mean, there's still cars on lead lap around them. Paul Gallimore, Thomas Kumacheski. You know, one little bad push and lap car like that. It's just so dangerous. One push could really take out some of these lead lap guys.
Indeed it could. With that being said here, we follow along, it's going to get interesting the rest of the run through.
You know, when I first started racing, I had not really an idea how to run up front. I was never really up there that often. When I did get up there, I had complaints saying that that I was doing it off, or maybe I wasn't doing it necessarily the way that they would normally run up front. And then you get guys that run up front most of the time, get a wreck or something, and get multiple laps down, and they become a lap car, and they forget they have no idea how to become a lap car because they never done it. You know, it's kind of a compliment, but it's also kind of a detriment at the same time.
Still, though, under 30 to go, still a long way. You're talking about 20-plus minutes of contemplating. I know Giglio would really like a win here tonight, to say the very least. Giglio appeared at one point during the season. He's only had a couple appearances in the super speedway runs, hasn't broken through with much luck. He's had solid speed, but definitely looking like they're ready to secure things up front. Now, my question is going to be, what time do you make the move? Do you wait till 2 to go? Do you take 5 to go? Do you wait till the last lap? Do you wait till the last corner? What's your preference? And how far back do you start panicking before you say, I'm too far back to do this? Unless they wreck.
In my opinion, with the modern racings that we have and the amount of cars on the lead lap, I'd say if your current position is higher than the laps to go, then you should be worried. 14 laps to go, you should be worried. 13th should be worried about 13, 12 for 12, 11th, 11, and so on and so forth. In my opinion, that's whenever you should start, if you're that far back, trying to make moves. But for these folks in the top 5, that changes once you hit 5th or 6th, in that range. You know, you got to get up front and get to a position you're comfortable with. Look at this, teammates helping each other. One teammate's multiple laps down, the other, Michael Tucker, leading the outside line. That's stealth, going to the outside, trying to take over the lead. They say go time is now for some reason.
Interesting. I think that is where the question of who does Soziak help is now coming into play.
His teammate.
Exactly. Michael Tucker gets some help, and oh my goodness, that's a tandem and a half.
Yeah, this looks like 2011 almost. My goodness, just able to pull away so much faster than the rest of the field, but they have too big of a gap. 37's going to be in trouble here, and so is that 36. Oh my goodness. You're going to have a big old checkup. But those guys are still saving gas, and I think that that's going to be a major factor here too. And, you know, I got to give another comment here. Paul Hill, quiet again tonight, but top 5 clean car. I mean, you can't ask for a better night for that Paul Hill machine. Clean car. Doesn't look like it even has a scratch on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You never know these days.
I mean, it definitely is going to be an interesting one with the scratches. We see a lot of those pop up with the physicality.
Oh, 8-car Giglio goes up the top.
Oh, look at this. Tucker's going to block. Two drivers not in contention for the championship, looking to try and get their first wins of the year. Inside, Giglio gets in alongside Tucker.
Broke up the teammates. That's what. Oh, look at the 37. He lifted, trying to let his teammate in. Oh my god, no, big lift. I mean, it's still not there. Tanner Marty must be furious right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be furious, but he's definitely going to be thinking, oh, look, it's Hoytsma past him 3 wide, though.
I can't tell who the lead. I think it's still Tucker until Lucas Hoytsma gets there. Then I think Hoytsman's going to have the lead. And Isaac's not a part of this. Remember, there's several cars that are multiple laps down in this lead area.
Absolutely. Look at how this is working out with the outside. Tucker. Oh, that's not going to work for the inside, is it, with a freight train with Stone?
Look at Dave Hoytsma up there, too. Still with the 2-car of Isaacs. Wow. Isaacs, again, remember, laps down. Not a part of the contention right now. He's 3 laps down. These guys at the front of the field, side by side, but Tucker's got it by a while over the 2 Hoytsmas now. Hoytsmas are just nose to tail. Can you imagine if we can get father-son combo? Almost a little contact there. But those 2 guys up to the front 2 spots. Take a screenshot of that when you can. Good Lord. Now, Tanner Marty's in a really rough spot here, Justin, by the way. That 29 car, he's stuck in a position nobody wants to be in.
Yeah, this is a tough spot with so many laps to go. You want to go. There we go. You see the cut through on the inside. Some defensive maneuvers. Tucker blocks to the inside.
Right now I could say the top 3. Oh my gosh, Dave's going for it. Dave, look at it, bob and weave. He got to the inside of Tucker. What a move. I hadn't seen moves out of Dave Hoytsma like that ever. That is something. He pulled a little move on him. Old school.
Yeah, look at that, to say the very least. Dave Hoytsma up to the front. And I'm looking at some of the estimates I'm starting to get towards now, the realistic ones, after initial numbers being a bit different. Depending on how much some of these drivers filled up their tanks I'm looking at here, you might be needing to be saving a bit. Within 3 laps is the estimate to where the top of the normal tank would be if it was to go green. They're running speeds in the 190s still.
Well, if they have a lot better fuel on their own cars than what we can know up here, to be honest with you. So with that in mind, you know, these guys are either going to run out of gas going to the finish, or they're hoping for a caution, or maybe they know they're safe. We won't really know until the end, and that just makes the angst a little bit more. And man, looking at this top 5, are you kidding me? Dave Hoytsma leading at Daytona over his son, Lucas Hoytsma. Then you got Ralph Hutchinson, who has yet to win this year. Casey Graves, Tanner Marty, all of these cars have yet to win this year. They would love to get a win. The odds of that are so slim to win a race in the full-length Cup Challenge because it's so hard. You have so many drivers that are absolute pros. They race in the Coke Series. To win here it just takes an absolute massive amount of luck, talent, and skill. And the thing is that today, it's mostly luck. You have to avoid the big wrecks, and we've seen it so far. The attrition has been the real story.
Absolutely right now. You can tell the thinking is on with 20 to go. A little bit more of the urgency with the lappers. How long do they fight? Tucker working with Hutchinson. You have some of the lead lappers on the bottom. Thomas Komacheski in all this is still riding up top also in amongst the lap cars. Same for Paul Hill in the train. Those drivers are going to be hungry to try and make a look soon. Here comes the Hoytsmas now as one. 1-2 for the Hoytsmas for a moment.
Yeah, That's definitely going to be a faux moto once they get side by side if the 2-car can push them up there. Wow. Oh, man, this is just getting down to the end of this. Anything can happen. Just wild stuff.
So with 18 laps to go coming at the stripe this time, rather. It's worth noting, out of those up at the front, going to compare this right now possibly to how things are for who's actually amongst those in the chase. First is out, second's not here, third is up at the front. Fourth is multiple laps down, Hill's in the top 10. Roman is out, Dyson's multiple laps down, Benefield is out, Hutchinson, he's up in third. That's the 9th place car in the points. No Matthew David Wood tonight. Noah Hodgson, he's running 12th. Joseph Galata, not here tonight, already with the lock. Hunter Trull, one of those with the question mark, wasn't here tonight. Robert Miller, not here tonight. Bobby Anderson, nightmare tonight, is currently one of those out of the race. The first one out, in fact. Neil Pearson is one of those out, a part of the cut line. That's not including those below it. Anderson should say is 22nd, so he's the last one to exit the race. That being said, what I'm trying to say is at least half the drivers that were here tonight for the chase have a disastrous night.
You just hit the nail on the head there. And now look at the front too, man. That's so cool. 17 to go. Got both Hoytsmas, first and second. I mean, does Lucas want to push his father to a win? I mean, his dad, I mean, I don't remember the last time Dave actually has ever won. He has not led this season at all till this race. And now he's got his son right behind him, pushing him at Daytona, man. That is something. Oh boy. And you got so many storylines in this field, but that one's pretty good. Oh man. A little jealous. That's so cool, dude.
You see just how much they're working it out. 15 to go. Lucas is going to try to defend for all his might. Michael S. Tucker's got to run, but doesn't take it anywhere. Dave ditches his son to block the top.
That is I think that's just an interesting choice on altogether. Dave's going to have to get a push here from the 01, who is in not necessarily desperate mode, but he's definitely going to try and go win a race. He has a shot today, better shot today than ever before. For most of these cars out here, you have a shot to win in the full-length Cup Challenge. And if you're out there on the lead lap, you still have a shot, with the exception of maybe Alan Duggar and Brian Workman. Both cars have lost the lead drafting together 12 seconds back. But everybody else in this lead pack that is on the lead lap still has a shot. It was a good choice for Dave, though. And it ended up hanging on to the lead for the time. And now here goes Paul Hill on the top side with Komacheski pushing.
We do have a pitter. Jose Medina can't make it because he's 44 laps into a run, but it's not the biggest situation. He's in the second pack. Cameron Stone has another meatball. He's blown another tire.
That damage just really does screw with you here at Daytona if it's just slightly off. You might still be fast, but that tire's getting scrubbed off, that's for sure. Now Komacheski, Thomas Komacheski, the 88, doesn't lead very often, but when he does, seems to be right at the most interesting times. And now he's there, but Paul Hill, man, again, Paul. Look at him go on the top side. Oh, man. He was so fast the last few weeks, has yet to pull it in. I think he's got a shot today.
See them pushing. Komacheski now up in the order to second. The lappers are boxing them in. That's going to be the hardest part Tanner Marzi's actually using. Dyson as a device to push and try and get momentum going. They'll pass by Medina, no issue. He's on the apron. But Andrew Dyson will at least try and get a lap back here. That puts him to 4 laps down if he clears, but it's pretty clear he doesn't want to move down, and Tanner Marty wants to stay steel to the bumper.
Wow. Look at who's pushing him, though. Tanner Marty knows that if you push a lapper to the lead and you stay behind him and you cross the line second, you still win the dang race. Just let a lapper go. That's it. Oh, my goodness. He has a shot to do that today in that 29 car. Third car on the outside line, getting help from Lucas Hoitzma there. How Hoitzma ended up in the top line in that spot is just beyond me. He was just behind his dad on the bottom lane, but things changed so fast. Oh, Hoitzma goes down the block. Back down to the bottom.
Right now they're getting feisty. Coming up to the closing stretch. 11 to go at the line in the Soda Wars 400. And right now it's a car not named after a soda brand that's up at the front. It's a Birch beer machine that's right now leading. It's counterintuitive of the theme of the night, but it's fast. Here comes Hill.
Guys, oh my gosh, I just looked here. There is not even a single car in the top lead car. There's not a single car in the lead lap that has won a race this year. Not a single one. There is going to be a first-time winner today as long as everyone on the lead lap stays on the lead lap.
So the car advertising a drink made out of birch bark is now pushing by behind the 26 that's looking to slay out all the dents. The Dent Slayer machine is up in front with 10 to go in what has been a very quiet year for Hill. 22 starts, no wins yet, just 6 top 5s for the 26. This is his best shot yet while being top 5 in the points. He's led 57 laps coming in tonight. He's now led a combined 64 on the season.
Oh, can you imagine the feeling that Paul would have to finally break that streak and get a win? He'd love to have that happen. Daytona of all places would be cool, but got to say there's a lot of cars I think that are way hungrier than Paul Hill. Paul Hill is a driver who definitely is hungry for the win for the year. But man, I can't tell you how this is going to go down. It's getting good. I'm getting excited. 9 laps to go when they cross the stripe. Man, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Hill led and won 3 different races last year. Most recently was at the Brickyard, part of the in-season tournament. That time, picked up the W in a green-white checker finish. Now is looking to hold back the rookie in Graves. Has Kolmacheski on the inside. Graves stays sealed on the bumper. The black flag machines are gaining up. Dave Hoitzma also gets the run. Here comes Graves to the inside for the race lead.
It's going to have Paul Hill lose a lot of momentum, but Tanner Marty's going to try and catch him on the outside as 3 cars clear the bottom. 3 cars, single file. Now 4 almost, but not enough. Huge pushes on the outside line. Man, every one of these guys would love to get their first win of the year. And some of these guys' first win ever. I mean, Casey Graves would love that. Dave Hoitzma would love that from a 3-win season and a no-win season. He doesn't want that so far. Everybody in the top group here is so desperate to get the win, and it's just going to make this so much more entertaining, man. I got to say, I'm so pumped. I can't tell you who's going to win, but it's going to be a knuckle fight to the end.
Here comes Hutchinson, looking to try and get the edge. Hutchinson looking to break through for a W here tonight. You know how wild Hutchinson's season's been? He's been a top 15 threat, but 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s, still in the top 10 in points because he's had a strong average finish this season and good stages. He's got Hill blocking him off. Coming to 6 laps to go. Still on the apron, Andrew Dyson, who had a pit stop, will blend and stay down.
All right, it's go time. It doesn't matter what spot you're in now. You got to go. Got to go right now.
You got to find a place to go. There goes the defense for Hill on the outside. Marty on the bumper for him. Hutchinson has Graves. It's teamwork on the inside, however. 6 more laps to go from Daytona International Speedway, the World Center of Racing. Right now, Hill blocks inside, blocks outside, inside again.
And you see Marty leading the outside line. He just doesn't have the help he needs. He needs that 36 to get on his back bumper, but he's dumping him. 29 losing help on the outside line. And more cars pulling up in front. Look at that, the 19 with a big shove, putting Paul Hill down and out. Oh my goodness.
This could get wild. Graves, remember, is in a tough spot, depending on the stage tallies. Right now, needs to find a way to help out his chance. A win would definitely help. He stays on Hutchinson's bumper, though, with 5 laps to go. Hill's got the recoil. Looking to reset. Graves will now go for the lead.
That's just going to leave a big old gap here. 79's got to close it up. He does. I cannot believe this. Hang on to it, boys. Let's get to the finish here. It's going to be it. It's going to be so close. Here comes Paul Hill back down to the inside of Graves. Big run from Tucker.
Try to slow him up with a contact, actually. That Walmart brand drink, looking to try and prove that you don't need to be a name brand to be a star and a tasty drink. With 4 to go at the line, Graves has Tucker now ditching him. Now Tucker goes for the lead.
All right, Stealth Racing goes to the lead. Oh my goodness. 26, give him a shot. I'm sorry, it's so dang good. This is great racing right here, folks. I'm surprised. What have we got here today? Who's it going to be?
With 3.5 laps to go, Hutchinson's getting lined up with Graves again. However, they slowed up a bit this time at a 2. Hill blocked up the track. Dave Hoytsma instead is going to help out and assist in the 79 car on the inside. Kowaczewski with the triple car tandem. 2 triple car tandems line up. At this point, how is this going to turn out? It's everybody watching. Hill nearly got turned around.
Down to the bottom of the block, but Paul Hill is doing a phenomenal job. Ralph Hutchinson's also in there. Tucker's doing good. They're all leading the lines, trading spots here and there, but I haven't seen that much out of everybody else quite yet. Big push from Dave Hoytsma on the bottom, though. Will he be able to have enough to clear Paul Hill and go up? He does. He can go up if he so chooses, but he's staying in line. Here comes a big push on the bottom. Oh, there goes Gallimore sliding to the inside. He's out. Gallimore out of the way. No caution. Staying green. Gallimore's out of it.
Coming to 2 laps to go. Tucker blocks Hill. Hill pushed up the track. Here comes Ralph. Hutchinson going for second. Tucker now might be a little too far out, though, as Hill elects to go back in line and reset himself. Hutchinson elects to push by Tucker. Now Hill's got the recharge with the help of Graves.
Side by side for third place. Hill's got to find some sort of run to make it work, but Dave Hoytsma's got cleared up to the outside if he wants it. He's got to figure out how he's going to get up there. There he goes to the top. Bad push from the 88 does not go with him. 36 of Tucker goes up with the 79, thinking that he had a bigger run. Now the 26 closes in on it. Side by side for the top 6 spots and side by side for the lead between Hutchinson and Tucker as they round turn 4.
Coming up to the white flag this time by Tucker. Gets pushed ahead. Dave Hoytsma. He's assisted drivers before. Daniel Wallen comes to mind. He now assists the 36 to the lead. Does Dave ditch Tucker? He gets pushed up. Gets turned in front of the pack. There goes Hill. There goes Graves. There goes Kowaczewski. That's everybody. Michael S. Tucker is on his own to the back straightaway.
Does anyone have any runs on him? I don't think they have any runs. I think that Tucker's got this. Can you believe it? Michael Tucker, he's got a few more corners to navigate, but him by himself as everybody else crashes in turn 2 is going to probably win this race.
Michael S. Tucker has the advantage. No one will get there. The Soda Wars 400 goes to Michael S. Tucker in his 12th start of the year.
Oh, man, I talked to him before the race. I talked to the whole team. I said, someone in here is going to win today. I wasn't sure who, but Michael Tucker gets it done, gets his first win in the full-length Cup Challenge at Daytona. What a race. Oh, my gosh, and that wreck just took everyone out. We didn't even make it to turn 4. It was just one man by himself down the back, all the way back. I cannot believe that.
Lucas Hoytsma Tanner Marti would be the R2 spots behind. And this all started with a bad push through turn 1, as you said. It was for second. Dave Hoytsma tried to think about the outside, but the gap filled up underneath him.
And a lot of cars got DQ'd from that too. It just shows like how bad that was. Tanner Marti came so close. Man, Tanner, he was right in the spot where he needed to be, and unfortunately for that 29, he's not going to make it in to the chase this year. But man, what an effort! What an absolute effort! He nothing he did wrong. He was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. But man, again, that 36 machine of Michael Tucker makes it to the front straightaway now, and as you can see, this is that last lap one more time.
Yeah, Cole Macheski, one of those who needed some points. We haven't touched as much about him tonight.
Everybody.
He gets bounced around. Every car except for Michael S. Tucker gets in an incident in the lead pack. And at that point, half the field's DQ'd. Half the field doesn't have the momentum. And you're just able to drive off to Sunset Mania.
Oh man, look at that 36 right now. He's in a new world right now, that 36 machine. Oh, man, I'm just so happy for him. Can you imagine? He came into this race. You never know what's going to happen in these things, but Michael S. Tucker, my man, got the job. You know what? Let's get him in here, dude. Let's figure out what the heck how he feels, man. He's at the top of his elation right now.
Able to come away with his first win in this series. Part-time schedule this campaign. He's in the midst of burnout mania. Wow, remember, they were on fumes at this point forward, Kirk, for the race on the fuel tanks. And as we look and see, as he worked his way to the burnouts, we can tell you this, they looked like this at the line. Tucker, Lucas Hoytsma, Tanner Marti in the top 3. Again, everything's up in the air depending on how Stage 2 officially got scored here, Kirk. But this would potentially still see Marti out by about 9 as we go. Noah Hodgson, Thomas Komacheski would be well down within 40. You also have Giglio, Owens, Gallimore, Hill, Hutchinson. Wortman got 11th as the last and lead lap. Dave Hoytsma, part of the many, knocked out with the incident. Casey Graves, big tumble. Alan Duggar sorted to 14th. Pearson would be the last projected in, pending Stage 2 point tallies. Nicholas Isaacs, Medina, Dyson, Delaney, Stone in the order.
21st, Kevin Zosiak, Bobby Anderson, 22nd. The rest of the field, multiple laps down. You see Tyler Hunter, Adam Benefield, Stephen Williams, Nicholas Vroman, Rich Kleinman, Sean Conklin, Devin Medeiros did not even start the field tonight. So altogether, what a phenomenal race. We got Michael S. Tucker. He's going to be with Justin.
Yes, indeed. Michael S. Tucker, chance to burn it out and celebrate tonight, Michael. How would you describe the elation once you've seen everything explode behind and you're the only car left?
Oh man, that was insane. I thought staying on the outside was going to be better into the corner, but I stuck with my gut, just went to the inside, and they all just piled up behind me. Then I saw Casey Graves come out, and I was scared for my life, but he disappeared. I think he got DQ'd. So I just took her easy and ran her home, and didn't spin coming down the front stretch. I was about to.
And obviously, it was a battle to keep to that game plan of stick to the front tonight and do so. It was very frantic, it felt like. How close was it on the fuel while you were also trying to battle aggressively for that lead?
When I went to the outside with my teammate to go make the move for the lead for the initial time, I was 4 to the good. And then as soon as I got to the front, I went down quick, and then I had to go back and save more. And then I just 10 to go. I was good by 2 somehow, some way, and I just started going to the front and seeing how it would work. And it worked. They all wrecked behind me, and I wasn't behind it this time. I was in front of it.
Well, Michael, this is Kirk here. I got to say, all day you've been the car. You and Hoytsma were the two cars that just did the best at pushing. I said that at the beginning of the race, but you might recall prior to this race starting, I jumped in your all's little chat. I had a feeling about you, someone in stealth. I wasn't sure who, but you, sir, ended up pulling it off. I just got to say that was phenomenal, and you ran a race that was worthy of a win. It wasn't just the attrition. I think honestly, you put yourself in the right positions. You pushed the right people. You were aggressive when you needed to be, and you got the win tonight. I mean, whenever I jumped in there and talked to you, did you think it was actually going to happen at all?
No. If you told me on lap 1 that I was going to win this race, I would have never thought it because of the way I was driving. I thought I was going to be wrecked by lap like 59 because I was being over aggressive.
Wow. And yet here you are sitting in victory lane, winner in the full length cup challenge. You know how hard that is to actually say, right?
Oh yeah, that it took me, I don't know, since last year to finally get up here and fight for a win.
Some people never get that win, man, and enjoy it. This is a really big moment for you, bud.
Yeah, yes it is. And it's the best. I mean, everyone worked with me. For some reason, I made a ton of people mad at Richmond, but they all seemed to work with me. I don't know, but I'm very thankful for them working with me. They didn't just ditch me. Like some points I was ditched, but I always fought back to the front with them. So it was just, I had to find my friends late into the race, and I found about every single person that became my friend throughout this race, and it was amazing.
On that note here, Michael, congratulations once again on the win tonight. You get the job done and add yourself the win list in this series' history. Congrats.
Thank you.
Michael S. Tucker gets the job done tonight. Lucas Hoytsma is caught up with Kirk. He survived to second.
Lucas, I swear, this is like your, ninth second place finish of the year? What is this, Lucas? I feel so bad for you because there's nothing you could do in that last line, but man, you, sir, just never cease to amaze me. Super Speedways, you're fantastic at it. It doesn't matter. You finished second twice in a row. You finished second last night, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Second last night. This is my 8th second place in Cup, but who's counting?
Apparently not me. Good God.
This one, it doesn't hurt as bad as the others because, of what happened. I mean, I'm lucky to finish at all for what happened to me this race. But, man, I'll tell you what hurts even more is my dad not getting the win because he wanted it bad. We were trying our hardest to help him out, and it just didn't work out. But he ran one hell of a race. He was making the right moves all race. He was doing a hell of a job. I'm super proud of him.
I was rooting for him too. I'm like, hey man, seeing Dave getting a win would have been stunning. I think I would have broke my dang monitor. That would have been so dang cool. Oh man. But hey, all together though, you guys ran a tremendous race. Watching you with like 17 laps to go, father son, nose to tail, leading this Daytona race. I mean, that cinema. I thought that was so cool, and I put a couple pictures for you up there in the chats. But gotta say, how's it feel to get P2? I'm sorry to say again, but anybody you want to shout out, and also just tell us anything you want before we let you go.
Yeah, I mean, it was a super crazy night. Super proud of everybody. Kansas City Pioneers, everybody at Black Flag Motorsports, Team Conti, and made this beautiful cherry Coke car here tonight. I hope everybody liked it. We had we had a lot of Coke cars out there tonight. That was pretty cool. But Price Chopper, everybody at Low Drag, my family for watching, and everybody else who puts this thing on. It's a for how crazy it was, we still put on a really great show to finish.
100% agree with you, man. Hey, all together though, great running. You were one of the best pushers. I think without a little bit of that front damage on you, I think you would have had a pretty dang good shot. But I hope you have a good rest of your day, man. And we'll see you once you actually, because you're going for the chase now. You're in it. You're going for it.
Yep, this should have locked me into third, I think, with Delaney wrecking. So yeah, that's a really good place to start the chase out at. I feel like I can make a good push for this championship. I just need a little bad luck from those two RFK cars, Reiko. And we'll see.
I gotta say, man, we're really doing it there, Red Band. All right. I gotta say, okay, I'll go ahead and move you back up there. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, sir.
Back to you, Justin.
Lucas Heitzman coming away in second. Tanner Marty
Yes,
up in
sir.
the top 3. Yes. Unfortunately, you didn't get to where you wanted to be and
What I
needed
hear.
to be. But talk us through the emotions of that finish.
Just trying to keep myself in the spot I wanted to be up high there, with a chance to throw it high or low if I needed to, and felt like I did a pretty good job. And I just had it happen right in front of me, and had to check up a lot there. Yeah, and Michael, not much I could do, but I squeaked through, so that was good. I don't know. I put myself where I needed to be. Just unfortunate.
How did talk about the efforts you had throughout the season to be at least in this conversation to try and make the final stretch for the championship in this series, or at least be in the conversation again. Talk us through what that was like in the mental mindset coming into these final weeks in the first place.
It's an absolute grind. Yeah. A lot of weeks. Yeah. Coming in, trying to compete to get out of 20th and put some good races together, and just consistently show up and finish races is huge. And that showed in this format because, man, I finished a lot of 25th and plus, but I was still able to be close there at the end. So I know what I need to improve on, and hopefully I can give it a go next year, though.
What's the approach going to be the rest of the season then?
Have some fun, keep building on what I've learned, and just have fun with it again. Not have as much pressure, but still race hard and have fun.
Kirk?
Yeah, Tanner, I just got to say, man, you put it all out there on the line today. And I got to say, I think, is this your best finish of the season? I think third is it right?
Yeah, it's a career best. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to say, man, you had speed. You were in the right place. Of course, a lot of this was the attrition out there, but winning races, you don't always need to be the best driver or the best car out there. You just need to be in the right place at the right time. And Tanner, I say you got yourself a lot of talent in that 29 car, and it was fun watching up here in the booth. I was rooting for you too. Man, everybody around you, any one of y'all could have won that race, but Tanner, you can hang your head high knowing that you did everything you had to do to get close. And that big wreck was all it was. You didn't cause that. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong there. So feel pretty dang good about that third place. It's still pretty dang cool to do that at Daytona.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just needed a car that could lead, and I was lacking that tonight, and that's what hurt me. So I'll learn from that and come back next year stronger. But I really appreciate that, man. It was a lot of fun, man.
You got a lot of talent. It was fun to watch, and man, it was just so cool. I wish it was a couple spots better, but congrats on the P3.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Tanner Marty off to the motor coach as, again, an emotional time. I'd like to thank the top 3 speakers during post-race coverage here in Maconi. Rough estimates. That's going to change probably over the course of the night because they still have to double check on the stage 2 official tallies, Kirk. But right now, the last 4 in would be Anderson, Truhl, Miller, and Pearson with the way things go. But that depends on if there was any adjustments needed for the stage points. That's the most important thing after a night like this one tonight. And the tough thing is, almost everyone who needed a good night either wasn't here or had a horrific night.
You're absolutely right. This was an unorthodox Daytona race. I've watched a lot of them. I've raced in a lot of them. I've seen it. I felt it. I know how it is. But when you get a lot of the guys that you expect to see up in the top 5, top 10 wreck, and they're gone, and then all of a sudden you get the cast of characters that need to get stage points to be able to make the chase up front with a chance at it, and guys that's never even won just wanting to have a chance to win. You got to think about this. You got pros out here that are straight up making big bucks trying to go out there and become the best there is on esports you're racing against. And then you got guys that are just doing this as a hobby. And the guy who doing this as a hobby won the race today. That doesn't happen very often. And man, I got to say, Tucker's got to feel so dang happy. But all these guys who got top 10s, even top 11, I still am stunned that Wortman got 11th. What a run. I mean, keeping the car out there without a wreck, that's the goal, and Workman did it. Got 11th. But these guys got to feel really dang good about their day. You got to celebrate these moments. They're so good.
So on that note, that just about wraps things up here on the evening, and that means one thing. We're going chase racing for the first time in a long time. Actual chase racing for the championship in real life and in virtual. The Southern 500, a crown jewel after this. That will be once again September the 5th. 367 long laps to find out how they start things off right before we go to the Ozarks 300 the following week, then the Neon Night race by the time we get to the middle portions of the chase. Until we get to that point, it's time to say goodnight. I thank you for tuning in for tonight's coverage here on Maconi Entertainment. For my colleague of the Berg and Kirk Mills, for our producer and Howie Burrows, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching tonight's coverage of the FLCC. Congratulations. Once again, Michael S. Tucker wins it at Daytona.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.